Good morning, good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Hello, everyone. I know it's been a little while since the last stream. We're back again on the Wednesday, a couple hours later than usual. I had a 12-ounce beef burger I had to get through. I had the other half bought it for me, and it needed eating before the stream. It was glorious. It had gherkins, it had cheese, it had all sorts. And now, guys, today's stream we're going to be trying to make some other builds with this character. We're going to try and make some different stuff. Now I'm having a little bit of trouble when it comes to mind resets, but I've got a few and I should have enough to do something. Hopefully to create some different builds. I want to try and keep going with a melee train right now, I think, and we'll see what we can come up with. We've got a little bit of extra heat damage on some of this gear, so that's something I want to try and use. For now, I'm determined to try and make the arc sword sort of work for me. So that's the plan. Let's crack on with a few missions and see how we go. Let's start off just by doing some event missions and just have a little bit of funsies. I guess we could do some Cabal stuff, but hey, that does quite often lag quite a bit. So we'll just do some ordinary missions to kick things off. How you doing, Heaver, by the way? Nice to see you, my friend. Good to see you again. Let's do... oh, what map do we prefer? Let's go snow. Let's go snow to begin with. Some good old icicles. One of my favourite maps still, nice and open. I like the city map too. I think that's a great one. This one, second favourite. More big open maps, please. That would definitely be right up my alley. I like exploring. You're at work? Good to hear. I hope you're having a nice day, my friend. I'm all dandy. I'm home from work. Hot, incredibly hot. Thankfully, I've got Ragnar muted. Now, we're going to be doing backflips. Unfortunately, not front flips. We're going to be sliding with a right click, which does look pretty cool. And we're going to be doing a rather big shock. So, let's see what we can do with this. So, we'll try doing a slide. The AoE is fairly large. The only downside is that, well, where you backflip from, you don't actually do the damage there. So, you end up doing that and then sort of doing that to go away and then walking off. I don't know. That's quite nice, so that's a nice attack. I like the slide. The slide is a thing. The slide is a good thing. So I can organise this and backflick off of them and go over here and do some stuff. It kind of works. It's just not as smooth as the power sword, though. The backflip to disengage is all right. Let's get some other attacks involved. I guess if you plan ahead, maybe you could make this build work for you. You could just sort of pretend that you're going all of these places backwards intentionally. You can't listen, but you thought you'd share your thoughts. Okay. You love the Warhammer universe, so you bought the game, Shane. Well, I'm glad you did. I hope you're glad you did. You might not be. You might not be. PvP was incredibly underwhelming. You haven't played the game since. Well, if you're new to ARPGs, my friend, I'd say if you think this is underwhelming, you need to try more ARPG PvP. I know you can't hear me right now, but ARPG PvP is terrible as a genre. I don't think I've played one that's done it well yet. Now, that's not to excuse what they've not done within this, but if you are watching this back later, the reason they've not done much in this is because the community told them not to. Honestly, that is the honest truth. There is basically... That's it. As soon as they implemented PvP, there was a massive outcry of moaning, basically. And I'm not complaining that people were moaning. People have got every right to moan. But there was a lot of fear and anxiety that they would put too much effort into PvP. And I think, obviously, they've been behind schedule for the last couple of years. So, yeah, PvP's had no love. So there you go. I hope they cross-platform. No chance of that, I'm afraid, Watcher. No chance of that. Spoken to the developers about it at some point. It's going to be multi-platform. I'm really not digging having to walk everywhere with this weapon. I mean, I can roll everywhere and I can backflip, and that's kind of okay. You could slide in, do a little bit of that. Yeah, it's kind of cool, but the fact it's a backflip really... I mean, the combo is kind of backflip, then slide back in, and it kind of works, but it's... at the same time, it's not working for me. Not when the pogo stick is just so much more convenient. So much more convenient. Where are we going anyway on this map? Let's actually pay a little bit of attention here. Updating the PvP soon is not going to happen, my friend. I don't want you to get your hopes up now. Again, I know you can't actually hear me, but that's going to be... If they've got a list of things to do right now, PvP is going to be right down the bottom. Yes, but major bug fix is coming fairly soon. There is a long list of bugs on there we think we've fixed internally sort of build. So that should be... Well, I'm not going to tell you when. But war zones are very close as well. War zones are very close. I don't know if the two things will be happening simultaneously, but I think the two will happen in one go. Now, Arc Sword, I'm sorry, you didn't do it for me. We're going to go with this. I'm sorry, we're going to go Arc Blade instead. And we've got Voltaic Leap. Yeah, Voltaic Leap will do. We've only got one decent enchant. I guess we could go for that. But then we don't have Voltaic Leap as a thing on here. Oh, because I'd really like that to be on the lowest cooldown possible. Let's just have a little look and see what we can do in the Modify tab to fix this. Vulnerability, damage for Voltaic Leap. That's not too shabby. Damage, Whirlwind, Voltaic Arc. Sounds close. Voltaic Arc again. I have a feeling, and I may be wrong, but I'm quite sure that each weapon, when you re-roll stats, actually doesn't... Well, I think what happens is that it has a limited pool of stats it can roll, and that's all it will roll, if you know what I mean. Let's see what we can get when we re-roll this. Electric Arc's rubbish. Armor Piercing, equal to deflect value. I like that. That works with the other one, which is improving my deflect value to... Yeah, okay, that works. Let's go over to the character then and increase our deflect value. So where are we? There we go. Extra dodge bonus, 44%. Not as high as it could be. 7, 6, 20. There we go. 40 hit points per kill. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Plus 10 Todge for 5 seconds after every kill would be amazing if I could actually get there. I think that would be absolutely awesome. What do we have in this right now? We don't have any of the close combat stuff, so I'm not really built for this. I guess we could... Yeah, okay, let's do a tiny bit of skill jiggery and see if we can make this a little bit better. How you doing, by the way, Mojo? Did they ever find out if Home Council will be out soon? What? You've lost me there, my friend. PvP in loot games always accumulates in balancing hell. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the PvP in this will not be balanced. And it might be more balanced than some other games that have tried. Where's my... Ah, I know where they are. We need to go to the mailbox. Come on, right click, there we go. Having problems. Retrieve items. The Charity of Hyder is currently accepting mind resets. It's a bit embarrassing, but I don't have enough, and yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. Movement we're going to keep. Debuff, I think we don't have any armor breaking, piercing, etc. on this, but we're going to go for vulnerability. That might actually work quite well with the Whirlwind, you know. If you have critical hit on... vulnerability on critical hit and you have the Whirlwind, you attack very, very quickly. So I'm wondering if this could be made into a thing that would be used and do stuff and things and be awesome. Maybe not, though, at the same time. Right, let's go... Oh, we need one more for there. I think, let's go over to the weapons again, see what we're actually cooking with here. So we've got single target death cult combo, high suppression single target. Okay. Channeled area effect, shock, stun, breacher. We don't actually have any armor piercing or armor breaking right now, so I think we can actually get rid of that tree. And although I do like the 5% critical hit strength for every debuff effect on a target, which would work okay with vulnerability, I think we can probably do better things with that, such as this. Maybe moving down there would be worthwhile as well. We've got 8 points left. Cooldown reduction would be kind of cool. Movement speed bonus for 5 seconds. I wonder if you could actually build a Whirlwind. Should we try building a Whirlwind build today? With this janky assassin thing. Move speed. Could this work? Could this work when you're spamming? I don't think it would. Using movement skill, it doesn't count. Crit hit chance when not taking damage. I mean, you could stack up loads of movement skill. I just don't think that's actually going to work. Let's go with this first. I'm going to keep these seven doodahs here now. So the aim is to critical hit lots, and let's just play a mission. Let's just play a mission. Well, I think what you're saying, Mojo, is nothing to do with the event. You're saying you don't like Inquisitor Martyr. Like, you can't blame the event for having short missions. The game has short missions. This is just a flaw with the current game design. The current game design is... Yo, what's up, Alex? How's it going? MLSV, what's up? Sweet looking armor, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Horus. Thank you very much. Any spares are appreciated. Team battles and free-for-alls. I mean, it does have... No. I don't know. The problem is ARPGs are so notoriously single-player based that there is a very big reluctance to move away from that, especially for a small studio. Like, maybe in future I would quite like, and don't get me wrong, I'd quite like some PvP action within this. But is it going to happen? No time soon, I think, is the my only response. Right, let's hold the 1 key down and see what we do. Absolutely sod all, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Whirlwind build. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Let's call the stream there, rip. Okay, so that went fantastic, didn't it? But it should do 450 damage a second. Okay, maybe let's just try killing this one Amano. We'll start small. Okay, so it's not terrible. Okay, what we need is to... Oh, no, okay, it's the moment you lose some life, the spinning of doom stops. And I would need to... Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm... The spinning's sort of working. The move speed's not fast enough to really call this a whirlwind build, though, is it? I mean, let's be honest. It's quite chilled. It's quite chilled. The missions in D3 aren't much longer. I completely agree with you, Godlike. I completely agree. I've been trying to say for the last year that I think the 20-second missions are a problem, and I think there's more mechanics that are needed within missions to make that sort of farming less rewarding, because it still is. Like, the mission completion bonus is still far greater than the enemy kill bonus, but even then, speed farming is just... I think you just need to make there be a problem with speed. These, like the Pogo Stick build, it's wonderful. It's just far too good. Although granted, the current build is taking advantage of certain mechanics, one could say. Oh, well, that's just not cool. Being interrupted like that, that's just not cool. Okay, let's try spinning again. I mean, it kind of works. Everything's a critical hit, so you stack up the vulnerabilities fairly fast. It's not that good, though, is it? Let's try again. I mean, it's no Whirlwind Barbarian. Let's be real here. Maybe if you got some damage on hit. Yeah, there you go. Straight knocked out of it. And then you're just better off doing a Pogo Stick. Rip. Okay, let's just do... Oh, we've already finished. Never mind, I'm bad. It's a good game. Speedrunner 1700 power ratings is a bit boring. I completely agree with you, my friend. There's no challenge. I made a personal request to the developers not too long ago to try and increase the power rating available to us to about 2,500, because I honestly think for a group of 4 that's what's needed in order to bring any challenge into the game. And if those missions give you 50 fate, so feckin' be it. That would actually be... I mean, who here would actually like to spend 30 minutes doing a mission for 50 fate? That would be absolutely fine. You know, that would be absolutely fine. That would be such a good step forward for this game. Oh, hello. No, wrong ones. Never mind. Right, so not a big fan of the arc blades. I know you could make the CC work, and I know you could play around with these two things, but Yep. Yeah, 2,500 I think would be perfect. Yes, it's plus a hell of a lot. Yes, you could probably say that 4 players might not achieve that unless they take advantage of some absolutely broken mechanics. But hey, that's a much better place than where we're at now. That's a much better place. At least having something you can strive to work towards, you know, that's a good thing. It's a better thing than we've got now. Do we still want to keep this? Let's go for this instead. And let's go back to skills, go on this, There we go. So now we're going back to dodging around and doing dodgy stuff. And does this stuff have any armor penetration? I don't actually think it does. I don't think it does. Let's have a look. It's heat-based for a start. And I've still not unlocked. No, nothing here. The damage on annulment is nice. The cooldown's pretty big. But the damage on it is good. If I had the suppression tree, I could make some builds. Yes, Fire, I'm also streaming to YouTube, my friend. That's where the majority of my viewers are, so... go ask for a date with the Queen. What? You have lost me with that reference, my friend. Need to balance the classes and the weapons. I mean, yeah, there is a long list of things to do. But I think the simplest thing to do, the simplest and easiest thing to do for the game right now, and this isn't asking for much, is to just, maybe even in the next subsector, because it's too late now for this subsector. We're going to have the war zone soon. But hey, the simplest change for the war zone is to make sure the power rating keeps going up and up and up and up, right the way to a point where we die in one hit and it seems impossible. That's what you need. You need something that, you know, is really hard that you can strive to achieve. That's what I think anyway. Because if you don't have that, then, you know, you're only grinding. Boop, boop. And do some jumps. I do like the animations for this. Fairly slow cooldown, but it's quite pretty looking though, isn't it? I like it. And, oh, I like the throwing attack as well. Boop. And how much damage does that do? Oh, a fairly high amount. Jesus. 891. How about that? Okay, let's see if we can one-shot everything with that attack, because 891 is pretty unfathomable. 30 degrees in. Yeah, we're rocking about that many degrees. What? That did no damage. Hang on. What? Why is that doing so little? And why is that doing so much? Hang on. What exactly is the criteria for this to do damage? Right, that's now gone down to 500. Hang on. What's going on? Is that because I dodged? Right, there you go. It's because I dodged and had some buffs. But still, that's not a lot of damage. That kills him in one hit. And this... does half of his health. Okay. Not particularly impressive. It's all about the jump. It's actually all about the jump. Yeah, any day of the week. Apparently the auto attack does more. This one attack really doesn't seem to work for me. It restrains, so prevents the use of abilities. So, I mean, you could maybe make that into a build. Maybe make it into a build. I mean, end of the day, the jump just does all the damn damage. Okay. The only problem with this, and you can't really complain about it too much because it does more damage, is you can't turn it into a proper pogo stick. It's not bad though, by any means. Power Sword is good. Power Sword is good. Cathian Sword I think is better. It's just higher base damage than the Power Sword, which is what I think makes it ridiculously strong. But both are good. A lot of people like the mobility. If you're over-leveled for something, or if you're finding it fairly easy, the Power Sword's going to clear it quicker. There's no question about that. I just think the Cathian has a higher base damage, and you're going to have a slightly easier time. But not having the damage avoidance that comes with the Power Sword can sometimes, you know, the mobility is nice to survive. That's kind of my take on things. That's kind of my take on the current weapons. The Arc Blade I don't think is particularly... It's not in a bad place, but it's just not in a good place comparatively to the others. It's just the janky moveset, and it is usable, don't get me wrong, it's completely usable. Bye, Crane. How's it feel dying in not even slow motion, but 2 frames a second? Rip. This map seems to still have some problems. What is up, Frank? How you doing, my friend? Godlike, nice to see you. Thanks for the spam, Doc. Thanks for the spam. Okay, so that did a little bit of damage. Let's activate all this and do another. Okay, that's a bit better. And Bush? No. That damage is just so superior. I like the fact it pierces enemies. That's kind of cool. Right, and they're all the way back. Every time I do this. Okay, null rods, I'm sorry, but nowhere near comparable. To be fair, though, it's because I'm not rocking the broken AoE skill at the moment. Dead can respawn. Hourglass Tarot card does what? It basically gives you a better chance of getting a relic, and yes, my friend, it really is worth farming. It really is. It's very good. Any class can use a shotgun, my friend, except for the Psyker, who can't use two-handed ranged weaponry, can only use pistols. So the Assassin and the Crusader can use a shotgun. Any sneaky news from the developers? Warzones are out very soon. I can't tell you when, because I don't know exactly, but I know very soon. That's about it. And their next patch is going to be fixing a lot of broken skills. I don't know how many. I don't know the final list yet, but hopefully a good number. Hopefully a good number, because if we've got working skills, then we can start talking about balance problems. You know, we've got some balance problems at the end of the day. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Much appreciated. The charity of Hydra really appreciates your help. Mind reset skills. Right, so we've established that although the jump ability for the Null Rod is totally awesome, it lacks the cooldown capacity to... I mean, 4.7 seconds is just too long to make a pogo stick out of. So, with that being said, I think the only viable pogo stick is still the power sword, because the 6 seconds on the arc blade is just... You can get it down to 4 seconds maybe with CDR naturally, and then you could do a bunch of crits to try and lower it, but you end up standing still for so long that it's just not as good. Yep. That's definitely an option, Callas. You can definitely go for arc blades, debuffs, and you can do some stacking stuff with that. That's totally fine. I'm trying to make another pogo build. Like the Death Cult blade can't pogo. You've got a phasing assault, you've got the wide strikes, and it's just all rubbish, basically. I don't understand what that weapon's doing. And I actually think that's it. I don't think there's any other viable pogo builds. I'm just scraping the barrel here. Maybe we could try going into the AoE tree as well, but then we got to take all of this out of here and stick it over. Oh, go on, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's going to be close. Haha! Victory is mine with 1 point to spare. Enough to put that back in here, I guess? No. Or there. I think that one would be better. Although it would be nice to get the vulnerability. Let's just put it in critical hit. There we go. So this will hopefully be a bit more cooldown based. Let's have another try. How long would the 50 missions take on one character approximately? It depends if you pogo, my friend. If you're a high-level pogo player, it's not going to take you long at all. If you're not... Hey, Andrew D, super chat, super... Thank you very much, my friend. Currently waiting for Streamlabs to sort of do a big thing for that. If not, I may have to do a jingle myself. Hey, there we go. Go ahead, took a little while to come through. Thank you very much, my friend Andrew. That's really appreciated. Very kind of you, my friend. Super chat is super indeed. Yes, unfortunately with this game now is you need a lot of mind resets to experiment, which I really, really don't. I like a lot of things the developers do, but I'm not fond of the current respec system I can only speak through my personal experience, but it means making builds is a pain in the butt. Like, it is hard to experiment, because if you change and make a mistake, you need to have enough mind resets to change back again. It's not a forgiving system right now. It's... The thing I don't like about it is it's actually encouraging people to copy others' builds, because you know, making a mistake is so punishing, and I think that's not good. That's not good. Oh, I'm taking suppression damage again. This is very quaint, isn't it? Okay, so 2 seconds. The cooldown's way too... I mean, the damage is nice, don't get me wrong. Look at that. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Okay. Unfortunately, yeah, it's just... Right, if we kill 5 in one hit, it's enough to sort of pogo. It's a fairly slow, methodical pogo, but... No, it's not a good pogo. You just need to do some other attacks in the middle. I love how just that does so much more. Does anyone actually have access to the exact number which the AoE tree is applying? You know, the broken mechanic at the moment? What's the actual number it is applying, not the correct number? Because it should be giving you 1% per enemy, but is it giving you 10%? I have a feeling it is. I forget. Someone did tell me once, but... Oh, hello. Look at all this. Mum, get the camera. 10% per enemy. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, even when they nerfed that, if Red Thirst is still working, it's not going to be curtains for the pogo stick build. It will be weaker, absolutely, but it's still going to be... It's going to hang in there, no probs. No probs. People that say the word probs are the worst. Oh, hello. I just got wrecked. How about that? Wasn't paying attention. Megapol wrote it gives 100%. Well, that wouldn't even surprise me. Dead can respawn. Wouldn't surprise me. We've had 300% dodge plenty of times. We've had that quite a few. I'm going to unlock this heat, and then I'm going to see if I can get a plasma gun build working. That is the plan. And you know, we did a video, and let's have a little show of hands. Who was following the channel way back when I did the old melee versus ranged video? Who actually remembers that? Melee versus range, talking about the balance issues that melee was faced with because it just took too much damage. And now, if anything, it's just done a complete U-turn, and it's ridiculously favouring the melee now. Just the damage in the AoE is just massive. Yeah, we had a few here. Andrew was here. We got some regulars in. Good. Melee was rubbish back then. It was indeed, and all they changed was they just gave it a massive damage bonus. Well, to be fair, though, I think some of the perks have just allowed it to blossom. Because all you need with the melee is just to take advantage of the fact it's got a lot more AoE than the other weapons, and then all of a sudden it shines because you just wreck everything so quickly. Yeah, I mean, that I wouldn't be surprised if that is giving 100% extra damage. Let's... Beep. There we go. So much damage. All the damage. Everyday damage. Oh. I didn't kill someone in one hit. How disappointing. Okay, so I think we need to switch build in a second, because this ain't going to be fun to watch for 2 hours. Although, Null Rod Pogo Stick. I mean, on a dense enough map, it's a thing. Yep. Valk, how's it going, my friend? I recognise your name. How's it going, my friend? I recognise you from the comments. Always nice to see people put well thought out comments. We get some really good ones on the channel. It's one of the things I'm most proud of. Not of what I've achieved, but what you guys have achieved. Because there is some really well thought out stuff there, and that I think is awesome. Because at any point, if one of the developers wants to just go in and... dude, you are absolutely wicked. Let's try and make a goddamn plasma gun build. Oh my word, look at that. It's got a tiny little... Why do I need a scope on this? Just in case I can't hit them with it. It's an anti-aircraft gun, Vincent. Look at it. Nice armour, by the way. Nice face mask. And, yeah, there you go. So, let's look over to here. Oh, my God. We still need 20 more of those. Okay, let's go melee and quickly get those done and go back to pogo sticking just for a mo. We'll just go back to power sword, and we're just going to unlock the heat tree real quick. Yeah, it looks more like a plasma cannon. We are going... Yeah, the snatch references are here, my friend. The snatch references are here. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Right, let's go, let's go. I don't want to quote the whole film because I don't want to get demonetized. Not that this video's monetized anyway. Although I did get a super chat. Oh, high five. High five. There's no fun allowed in the 41st century, Valk. That is a good point. Okay. Didn't know... Tic Tac, that... It won't be announced until the publisher's sorting it. So Neocore will find out when the publisher tells them. Neocore aren't handling it. It's a separate team that are doing it. So it's not been officially announced yet. The publisher will do the announcement. That's all I can say. And the announcement should be this week. Should be this week. Da-da-da. But yeah, it's out of their hands. And there might be someone within Neocore that does know, but it's going to be a case of they're not going to tell anyone until it's ready to be announced. It's all the publisher now, publisher. Although to be fair, the fact that it's not been announced is obviously a little bit disconcerting for you guys. Totally understand that. I do not blame you for being nervous, frustrated, whatever you want to be. And don't forget, we're here for explosive barrels. That's the primary objective here, is explosive barrels. Yeah, Amazon has it as December, but I would point out that Amazon had the PC date wrong. So I don't think you really need to say that, you know, Amazon is a reliable source. I was there in the office at the time when Amazon got the wrong date. And I can't remember the exact reasoning for it, but I think the Amazon got the date from someone else that wasn't an official source, I think. Or there was just a genuine mistake made. I don't know. I mean, it's a very curious point. I mean, for you PC players out there, would you rather the game had been delayed another 3 months? I mean, I personally do think 6 months is a bit unrealistic, although I'm not under any illusion as to how much work is still needed to make this game feel like good value for the vast majority of players. Obviously, it feels like good value for a lot of players. 60% of people are happy with it. But let's say to get the game up to a solid 80%, I think we can all agree it needs a fair bit of love. Would you guys have wanted it to be delayed for that long, or do you think it needed to launch? And obviously, this isn't how these things work. I mean, I'm under no illusion here that money is why games sometimes have to launch. It's that simple. Yeah, that sounds about right, to be fair, Charles. December 31st is most likely a placeholder. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, there's certainly been too many games released too early, that's for sure. And, I mean, it's not like the release has done them a lot of favours. While it has had some positivity, there is more negativity in terms of press surrounding Martyr than positivity, which I do think is biased, let's be fair, because it's very easy to focus on the negatives on this. And I want to give a little shout out to someone that decided that, you know, the positive aspects of this game are being overlooked by many, because it's just so easy to talk about the stuff that's broken, the stuff that's not working well, the stuff that's been implemented badly, and the bits that are missing. But there is a lot of lack of, I think, appreciation for actually stuff that, you know what, the game does maybe differently, which is not necessarily well in everyone's eyes. Even then, I think there are some things the game has just done well. Not everything. Not everything by a long shot. But I think that there is a little bit of love needed. But having another account wipe looming would have been very frustrating. That is true, because a lot of people are holding off of buying the game because of the account wipes. That has to be said. So let's put some of this in the bank. Let's use these tabs. So let's do a bolter tab here. Let's do a pistol tab. We're going to keep that. Graph pistol, las pistol, all the pistols, infernos. I made an inferno pistol build. It was terrible. Worst thing that ever happened to me. Don't even want to talk about it. It looked great on paper. Looked absolutely amazing on paper. Sort by rarity. There we go. And we can get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Lovely. Get a bit of money back too. Right. Shall we try and see how many more of these blooming things we need? Heroic deeds. Where are we? Oh no, we can just go straight to the skill tree. 232. Did that only count as 2? Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to bash through them real quick. I'm just going to speed run. Screw it. Okay. Here we go. Scourge. Scourge confirmed. Every 5 missions you should be spawning one of these. Always good. Yeah, negativity sells. Absolutely, I agree with you there, my friend, which is why I try not to be... negative focused in terms of my content on the YouTube channel, because I just think it's too easy to do that. Like, you could very easily just make a video about every game that comes out and talk about how shit it is. And honestly, I think it would do quite well in terms of expanding as a YouTube channel, because people love it. People love seeing a game fail. There's a whole Steam forum full of a very big chunk of people that love seeing a game fail. Or at least relish in the failure of a game, because they talk about it every single day. Maybe relish isn't the right word, but I don't know. There's a lot of people that are happy to talk about its failures all day, but not give a single constructive point. And that's not me complaining. Like, rip me. You're completely free to do whatever the hell you want to do, but all I'm saying is it's very easy to do that. It is, and I think it's attractive. That was a death and a half, wasn't it? I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. I just melted. Absolutely melted. Yeah, Callus is happy with the core gameplay. Interesting. See, many people would argue that it's one of the weaker aspects of the game. In a sense, I think it's not necessarily as weak as it's made out to be. It's just not what some people want, which I think is a fairer accusation of the game. That it doesn't necessarily portray what the average ARPG player wants, but it definitely delivers what a few people enjoy. That I would say, that this game is, while it's not perfect, it has some aspects that are enjoyed by some. I mean, there are positive reviews, so I think we need to make a little video about what people like. I think that's a good idea. Why don't you throw in some of the comments at the moment, guys? Why don't you throw in chat what you do enjoy about the game? I'd be curious. What for you have they done well? So we've got a couple votes on comments. The combat being quite enjoyable for some. What is it about the combat you like, Callus? Favorite Steam review? Absolutely. Game not recommended. 1,000 hours played. I think in their defense for the people that have 1,000 hours and wouldn't recommend it, is it's people that joined with the hope of helping to develop a game that ended up being quite buggy at launch, and from that respect the salt would be enough to say, you know what, I actually don't recommend what they've made. I can dig that. Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you, Godlike. Right. Yep. Right, let's just, let's find something a little bit explosive. There we go. I really want this god dang frickin' heat tree to unlock. You like the combat and theme of the 40k lore? Yep. Yeah, it's very grounded, the game, isn't it, ML? I mean, it's not as it's not as solid as something like Dark Souls, where the combat is very heavy. But it is heavier and more grounded than a lot of games where you can fly around. Yeah, I think the ranged is definitely suffering at the moment. I think the ranged is. I agree with you there. There we go. We're cooking now. We get some explosive barrels destroyed. And we'll try not to take too long, because I think no matter how many you kill, you only get 2 completed. So that's just a wonderful thing, isn't it? Oh, dodge out of the way of that. For too long have I been destroyed by sorcerers exploding when they die. For too long have they mocked me from the grave. Right, the environment's exploding. The environment, yeah, the environment is very good. I think the maps and textures, although I think the camera angle doesn't necessarily do an amazing job of portraying them. Like, my hair is going funky at the moment. I think the actual textures and maps are pretty good. The utilisation of them, I think, is not so. There's a lot of pretty maps in the campaign that you just don't see in the open world, and that's still something I pray for. But I definitely agree with you. Yeah, I think the trickle of lore is definitely something that needs a little bit of a mention. Like the constant references to nulls and, you know, and the ordos, and I think there's everything lore-wise you could ask for. There's not representation of the books, which I think is fair, but if you want representation of the books from a game, I think you need to park those expectations, honestly, if you also want a good game. Not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying it's easier to make a game with a 40k skin rather than trying to make a one-to-one scale adaptation of the books. Like having an Inquisitor ARPG where you can only kill a cultist, because anything more powerful than that will kill you. Like, that's kind of... yeah. Could it be done? Probably. No cone modifiers. Yeah, that's true, Tommy. I think there's one modifier. Oh, I got a mind reset. There could be more, definitely. But that's something that will come with time. Obviously, it's a case of how long will it be. And, you know, Emperor only knows. 34. Really, do we have to do... we have to do 8 more missions, guys. Eisenhorn killed a demon host, and he killed a titan. So, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Although he didn't do it on his own, but still, he did, that's stretching it a little bit, you know? That's stretching it. Right, all of these appear to be on this map. And I haven't read the last book, so no spoilers, please. No spoilers. And I'm only halfway through the 3rd book, so I've got a way to go. Yeah, Cherubael was wicked. And for anyone that's heard the audiobooks, the voice actor, Toby something? I keep wanting to say Toby Maguire. It is not Toby Maguire. Toby someone, but he does a great job. It's probably not even a Toby now. It's just going to be... I need to stop saying the word Toby. Toby. It's not even a word Toby, it's a name Toby. Apologies to Tobys everywhere. Right. Find some explosive barrels and then complete the mission. That is my mission. Like, this machinery, look at it! That looks wicked! Ah, tabletop simulator, come and get some of these apples. I do like the Sector Imperialis style map. That, I think, is a pretty one. That's a good one. Deathwatch or Grey Knights? For me, my friend, I will stand by the developer's comment of this. The game's called Inquisitor, therefore it needs to be about Inquisitors. It doesn't really make much sense to start having playable assets, but I do think they could definitely be included within the game narrative. You could definitely like have a small squad. Like instead of the Baneblade mission, sorry, the Shadow Sword mission, why you don't just requisition a small squad of Grey Knights? Honestly, I could tell you why, because probably programming their AI, you know, it would be like a follow mission with 5 people trying to follow you. For the effort that would take to do, would it be worth it? Maybe. But I think that would have been a much cooler thing than the vehicle combat, for me personally, just requisitioning, I don't know, a couple of Deathwing to go along with you. I think that would have been very cool. The Cherub Companion was given as a gift, my friend. It was given as a gift to the player base for the dodgy launch. And it was dodgy. It wasn't that bad, but they did have to do a reset 2 hours after launch and reset everyone's progress. That's right, Skip. It was indeed. It was indeed. Big Tiddy. How you doing, my friend? Big Tiddy. I'm going to have to put D's in your name. I don't really want to get monetized just for saying hello to you. But I hope the streets are treating you well and that your bra is nice and supportive. And let's do that. Yes, those on a radical path. I tell you what, the day that the Psyker gets a demonology tree, I am sold on Psyker. I am all over Psyker then. It's harsh out there. As long as you work hard for the money, my friend. As long as you work hard for the money. Right. Deathwing, Grey Knights, Roritas. That should be valid. Right, okay. Let's find something. There we go. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. You could have like a faction, alliance, reputation where instead of like your armor ability, you get a summon ability every now and again. Demon Forged weapons, I'm hopeful, but although we're going to have a look at that in a moment, but I'm fairly sure they've copped out of doing weapons and instead they're just going to go demonic enchants. Fairly sure they did say that there's going to be artifacts, unique artifacts per one. What on earth that means, I mean, no one knows. It's kind of an artifact. What? There's graphical artifacts all over the place. Does that count? There's already loads of demonic artifacts. I don't know. I kind of have the sneaking suspicion that those radical, holy, demonic weapon Puritan thingies have probably disappeared. I think they have disappeared, but I'm not sure. Don't like go jumping off in the Steam forum saying that Hydra said this. I don't know. This is just a hunch. Just a hunch. Although to be fair, they did come out with a bunch of new weapon skins for the old relics that do look wicked. Oh, jump over the trip mine. A demon-infested heavy bolter. My friend, that is quite heretical. I'm fairly sure you need to wash your mouth out with soap after saying those words. Yeah, I mean, would I go for a demonic Cathian sword? Hell yeah. Especially if it laughs when I kill stuff or speaks to me. Definitely. If I have a demonic weapon, I want it to speak to me. Too many questions with devs, much speculation. Well, there's many questions for this game right now. Neocorp have and always will be a secretive bunch. Stuff is ready when it's ready and it comes out when it comes out. I think it's a combination of lots of last-minute changes and having quite a fluid plan, but also just a weird PR strategy where they try and keep things secret that are already public knowledge and then re-release them as secret. To give you an example of that, like, we know that Dark Elder are coming out for this game. But every now and again when they do a stream, they're like, and don't forget, go on, let's tell them the secret. The Dark Elder are coming. And you're like, what? We knew that over a year ago. Over a year ago. Well over a year ago, when we saw one of the units. I haven't seen him since, but there you go. But yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Borderlands 2 had a gun that spoke to you about how bad you were for killing things. Probably not that one. I mean, yeah, that doesn't sound particularly demonic, but it's a start. Hoarding those fate points. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Will you need fate points in the war zone? Probably not, is my expectation, but we shall wait and see. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. Shout out to the viewers, by the way. We've got a good healthy number in here. We're nearly at 100. Can we get a few likes for the old what do you call this thing? I guess it's a stream, isn't it? It's a stream. It's a stream. It could be a workshop, but I'm not doing a lot of builds. We will be trying to make a plasma rifle build soonish. But first, I need to finish this heat tree, and I'm only getting 2 per mission, which is ridiculous. How many chapters are there in the game now? 5. 5 chapters in the game. They previously referred to 10. My thoughts are that it was compressed into 10 rather than part of the chapter, part of it cut out. I think it was just rejigged into 5 rather than 10. Like, they could cut each one in half and call it 10 if that makes you happy. But I have a feeling, because it's got its beginning, middle and end, I really don't get the impression it had bits cut out of it. Maybe. I just don't get that impression from playing it. I do get the impression a few cutscenes were sort of not quite finished yet, but you know, there was a few bits where there was some audio missing or some dialogue that didn't work. I hope that's ironed out. I haven't played through the campaign again in a little while, but I did really enjoy the campaign. Definitely one of the more enjoyable ones. And for all of the good I hear about Grim Dawn, and I'm not trying to poo-poo Grim Dawn, but I have no idea what the story is. And one thing I'm not a big fan of with the game is how far out of your way you have to go to actually find out what the story is. Like, you do have to sit there and read a crap ton. Okay. Would it be better if the mobs were more lore-based instead of vehicles, mini-bosses getting the starties? Well, it's all a question of scale, my friend. While that would please some people, it would also divide the amount of available stuff for the game by 5. So you're then basically saying you need a regular unit. The thing is with an ARPG is you kind of, or I at least think you need an enemy variety in terms of their sort of combat capabilities, if that makes any sense. So you kind of need small, medium, slightly bigger, medium, champion, like the whole system they have with regular units, elites, champions, bosses is already fairly simplistic, and I think if you cut that down to just regular units and bosses, I guess you could have the occasional champion, but I guess you've got to ask the question, you've got to ask yourself the question, is it better to have stuff that pleases the lore fans, or is it better to have stuff that pleases the gamers? And I think it's a gamble. It is, because obviously there are going to be certain people that just want this game to represent the books and, you know, to be based off of that. I'm not of that persuasion, but I respect those that are. It's completely fine if you dislike the game for, you know, betraying the book's portrayal of whatever, but, you know, it's cool. Yeah, I missed a bunch of barrels, but as far as I'm aware, godlike, you only get 2 per map anyway, so I've just got to go. Flawed, how's it going, my man? I hear that, Callis. I do hear that Grim Dawn has a good story, but let me tell you this, my friend. Whenever I've played Grim Dawn has been co-op. So guess why I have no idea what the story is? Because I played it in co-op. Food for thought, food for thought. That's not me trying to justify Martyr's choice. I think it was definitely a ballsy one. It may not pay off in the long run, but I will say, with absolute certainty, the reason I don't know anything from Grim Dawn is A, because it's not voice acted, and B, because I don't have time to read it all while I'm playing with a friend. And that's why I don't know the story of Grim Dawn. And I never will, because whenever I play that game, I will want to be with a friend. So that's why I kind of don't beat Neocore up quite as much as I could for the single player only option. But that's just my choice, you know, that's me personally. I know the story of this game, I've absorbed it, I paid attention to it, and for me that's important for a game. That's very important. One of the first games I ever really got sucked into when it comes to story was Fable, the first one. And I was hooked on every bit of the story. I was paying attention, I was listening, and then that was one of the last sort of single players. I know The Witcher is really good and there's some others. I just haven't played many of those sort of RPGs. Mass Effect, the first one, really good. The moment I started playing it co-op, I had a lot less fun. Crazy. Although I had fun in a different way, but I completely missed out on the narrative experience. Martyr needs more boys. It needs greenskins. It does indeed. Well, we know Dark Elder are next. Night Lords are confirmed soon as well. They might be appearing at the same time, we're not entirely sure. And then we know Khorne are going to be popping up, but it's going to be about 8 months until anything else comes along, and I reckon Elder will be next, but don't quote me on that. That's just a hunch. Yes, it'll make some people triggered because they'll just be like, well, you just reskinned half the Dark Elder, but that's probably why it'll happen. That's why I expect it. Save some time so they've got more time available to refine the game, and then when the game's a bit more refined, there'll be more spare time to do more janky stuff. That's my expectation, although I think the Gene Stealer cult would be very doable. I think the Gene Stealer cult would be very doable. 39, and we're on an odd number. Fantastic. Yeah. Yep. I mean, that is true, Harvey. That is very true, Harvey. It is a problem for the game right now, especially when the open world is not as rewarding. I mean, this is one thing about the leveling system, Harvey, that I don't understand, because I think it would be okay if you could do the open world stuff to level up at the same speed that you could do single player and co-op. I think they should be equal in terms of leveling. That way you're not really just punishing someone that's playing co-op. I really don't understand that. So if you play single player in this game, you level at 4 times the speed at someone that's playing co-op. For me, that's a really weird choice. I don't understand that. I just feel like it's such a simple change to make the story simply scale with your character, keep all the rewards the same. So if that way I decided to play the game as a... piece of candy. If I decided to play the game single player, the leveling experience would be exactly identical to what it is now. There would be no difference because the rewards would be the exact same. The difficulty would always be the same sort of difficulty because it's been tailored to expand at the same that sort of pace. It's quite nicely balanced with one dip. But it's quite nicely balanced. But if I wanted to play with friends, then I could do that, and then I could go back to the story, and I wouldn't necessarily have over-leveled it. I think that would be such a simple system. I think players could then attempt to open level in the open world. The only downside to that is by encouraging people to only play the open world, they are not playing the best part of this game, which is not ideal, because if you only do, I know I keep calling it the open world, but that's what the developers are calling it, so that's what I'm calling it. Let's just deal with that. If you only play that bit, you're gonna not be that impressed. The story is something I think a player needs to experience. Although what I think probably would have been a good option is to have a shorter story and more investigations that were co-op based. I feel that the balance isn't quite there. If you could level up by doing investigations with friends, good narrative ones similar to the campaign, maybe not quite so dialogue heavy, I think that would have been a good option too. I'm hopeful that the following seasons after the first will have investigations and a narrative that is all co-op based. I think and I hope they've just sort of like they have a little change of tune. but I'm also expecting it not to be quite so voice acting based and more sort of text. We shall see. We shall see. Yep. I mean, investigations, I think, should be probably a focal point for the game at the mo. To move forward, make the game a little bit more interesting. Because the problem is grinding missions just lacks a purpose. I mean, yeah, you're farming stuff, but having a little bit of extra dialogue and a little bit of a story going on, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm sitting here talking about all the things I'd like to see improve, but the reason I do that is because I do like this game. I like what it's doing different, and if I had to say the number one thing I like about this game, and I would say it is just a fearless sense of not giving a fuck what the industry norm is. I think that is the number one thing I have to say about this game is it's just got a really annoying exit tune when you finish a mission. No, but seriously, the thing that I really do appreciate, and I hope they stick to, is they're like, okay, this is what the genre normally does. Screw that, we want to do something a bit different. And although it's similar to other games of the genre, it also just doesn't do certain things, like the power rating system. Some people think it's the worst thing about this game. I think it's one of the best. And it's very hard to explain to someone that doesn't get it why it has some advantages, but it really does. Really does. Okay. Yeah, there you go, Skiptis. There you go, my friend. Read the story, read the text. You got to read it. You got to read it. What do I think of the skill tree diversity? The AoE and crit trees just overstrip everything for the Assassin Psyker. Yeah, I mean, here's where I get a bunch of dislikes because people don't like it when you tell stuff's overpowered. But here's the thing. Critical is way too good. Even if Red Thirst actually worked, it would be downright broken. Sorry, it's already downright broken, but it's way too good. Like, the amount of critical hits you get is just really high. I'm not sure it's just this. I think it's this combined with, you know, the extra 10% here, the extra bit here. Like, I'm on 39 right now, and this boosts it by 30. That's a lot. That's 69%. 69. Giggity. And then all I got to do is use this, which gives me another 10, and that gives me another 10 for 20 seconds. I've got 90%. I've got way too much crit, and then when I've got enemies nearby, I've got 100% crit. 100% critical hit. Way too high. Way too high. I think this could give you a tiny bit less. I think that should give you 1% for every enemy within melee range. I think that's absolutely the case. These, I don't think are that broken, although I think that could be 3 and that could be 3. And I think that would probably be me fairly happy with this tree. That, I think, will probably need a little bit of, like, that will probably need to be 5%. Let's be real here. That's a lot of extra damage when you're snowballing. Not so good on difficult missions, though. Not so good. But yeah, the critical just outshines everything right now. It's just so much better. Which is a problem because it suddenly then means that everything else is just a bit poo in comparison. So it's, for me, making builds within this game has always been a case of what are you going to pair with critical hit to make a build. You will notice that every Sir Fancy Pants of Pantaloons, welcome back my friend, crit in this game is too important, too much emphasis on it. I absolutely agree. The fact that critical also gives you health back for the Crusader, it gives you focus back when it's there. It does 50% suppression damage. 50? Why? Why so much? Considering you can get 100%. It's crazy. You know, that one's fine. That's not overpowered. I don't think it needs massive changes. I think change that down to 1. I think change that to 3 and change that to 3, and I think you're looking a bit better. Yeah, it's only like 4% less and a bit less from that, but I think that's a start. And then let's have a word about digital weapons being 30%. Like, that shouldn't be it. That should be 15. That should be maybe 20, maybe 25, and not for 30 seconds. Like, if that was 30% for 10 seconds, I would still say that's incredibly strong, but that would be fine. That would be a big improvement. It's just way too good. Like 30% for 30 seconds. A 1 in 3 chance to critical hit for 30 seconds. You might as well not stack any critical hit and just use this item. That's how ridiculous it is. And this as well, like that's ridiculous. Critical hit strength by 40 for 20 seconds. By 40 again for 20 seconds. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That gives you more than the whole stat tree, and you can just spam heal because it's ridiculous. It's just, for me, critical hit is just, it owns this game. So that is, I mean, yeah, people won't like me for saying it, but I think it's a problem right now because it just overshadows everything else. So that's mine. Yeah, I know some people. Yeah, godlike. I agree with you there. Permacritting in an ARPG seems odd. I agree with you there. If that is the case, then the alternative of not getting crits still needs to be doing comparable damage. Like, if I went for the close combat tree, in an ideal world, it would either give me more utility, less damage, more sustain, less damage, but it would have a trade-off compared to the critical hit. Right now, this gives me probably more sustain by giving me 1% of my health per crit, and it gives me way more damage. This, okay, the 50 health is alright, but this tree is just crap in comparison. Criticals all the way. Okay. Well, the thing is, Harvey, the thing is, how are we doing here, by the way? 41. Okay, we're slowly getting there. The thing is, someone on today's video said, it's not going to be long before the pogo stick gets a nerf. It's not going to be long. Here's the thing. That's what we said over a year ago about the pogo stick. And I'm not kidding. It's not seen a change. And I think the problem with it isn't necessarily the pogo stick, because when you look at its damage, it's half as much as any of the other leaps. The problem is the AoE tree is currently broken and making its damage ridiculous, which is a problem, because that is making it kill everything. So maybe once you fix the AoE tree, then we can actually discuss how good the pogo stick actually is. I mean, heck, I'll just take the points out of it after this round and we'll see how good it is. Why don't we just do that? A little bit of a social experiment here. See, oh, that was a lot more damage than I was expecting. The frag all happened there. But I got an explosive barrel. Get wrecked, nerds. We won't talk about that. Is it me, or am I taking more damage all of a sudden? Not that I'm complaining. I keep saying I want more challenge. I died. I am happy. Sounds a little masochistic, but... yeah, AoE tree is getting fixed next update, which is nice because it desperately needs it. For too long has it been broken. For too long has AoE ruled our lives. It'll be nice when the Psyker doesn't have 100% critical hit using the broken ability as well. That would be nice, you know. Not having 100% crit for free with a build would be handy dandy. Would probably make the game a little bit more easier to balance, one could say. I think get skills working first and then talk about balance, because it's difficult right now to know exactly how much to change stuff by. Oh, this is actually a purge. RIP. And here's me not killing everything. I am such a bad Inquisitor. We'll do a second sweep back in a moment and kill everything. Come on. Boop. And boop. Okay, now we'll attack the inoculator and... there we go. Oh, goddamn. And if you could turn these off, that would be great. Okay. Does the AoE tree apply to grenade launcher nades on the skill? It should do. Yeah, it should do. It really should. Here's another thing. Why do relics only drop in tarot missions? Why? Why don't they hardly ever drop in anywhere else? It just means the game is all about tarots, which is... I think it's a little too tarot-centric right now, because that's even bad for... like the co-op side as well. You can't even join friends to farm items because you just don't get any. Right, back to kill the stuff I missed. I know, I'm bad. Oh, piece of candy. Gotta make sure I don't miss any. And then I think another 4 missions and we finally get to make a plasma gun build. Just before I go to bed. 3 days to find out how Scourge missions spawned. Yeah. Well, Mr. Method did make a video. If you want to stay up to date with stuff like that, head over to Twitcherino because there's some pretty good info going around on there. It's always worth checking out. Good way of making money on 50. The Cathedral mission, I think, is fairly good for money. Not 100% sure the most effective way. I've never tried to really farm money, so I'm not sure. I do find myself running out of it far too often. I actually think money is a very limited resource for me at the moment, which is good compared to what it used to be, which was like having a ridiculous amount of money. Yeah, credits are in a good place. And I'm okay with credits being associated with respec. That I'm okay with. I just think there needs to be more of them in the shop. And you need more of them at low level. An execute build. Oh, my friend. I would, but no. Just no. That is a good point. The game does crash in Cathedral after the 22nd minute. Consistently. Hopefully that gets fixed soon. Hopefully that gets fixed soon. Are we going to get a relic? We've got a relic shotgun! Shock to target, 10% chance per hit. Not the best thing I've ever seen in the world. Right, and are we on 43 now? Let's have a see. Yes, we are. Oh, well, I would get an odd number, wouldn't I? I would. Yeah, just 20 minutes and call it a day there. 20 minutes and call it a day there. Let's do some other missions. Silence the guns. Oh, go on, let's do a panic room. Not a big fan of that. Executory needs to be scrapped. I completely agree. I don't understand it. I don't like it. It's not a real thing. No, just no. What would you like them to say no to, Mojo? I don't know. I don't know. My current build is an execution build so you can farm executions for a heroic deed. Fortunately, the random execution is bugged. Hilarious. I'm not even surprised, my friend. I spent a good part of yesterday trying to make builds that didn't have so many bugs that they were unviable. I came up with a really cool idea for a Psyker build. Really cool idea. It's all built around having no health and doing 200% extra damage because you're nearly dead all the time. And I thought, like, this is a wicked build. Everyone will have loads of fun. No, it won't work because it's bugged. Like, please, Diego, please. Problem is you only get, like, you have to get something like 1,000 kills while under 50% health. And guess what? You can only get 2 per mission. And I do not want to play like 150 or however many missions as a Psyker. So the build I spent half an hour creating, fine-tuning, making it awesome, that requires on one particular perk, does not work. Oh, you're a big boy, aren't you? Someone's had his Weetabix. Here we go. And that feeling when a turret spawns a demon. You know it's a bad day when a turret spawns a demon. I guess it has a machine spirit. Maybe that can trigger demons. Makes sense. Makes sense. Hilarious how much we'll try to play this game, how much the devs don't let us. Yeah, but we do like it at the end of the day. We do like it. It's not all bad, it's just... Holy moly. Do I need to dodge? Oh wow, he dropped a mine. Cheeky bugger. Okay, if I go this way, he should just sort of spawn with me. There we go. I'll spawn some clones in here as well. Oh, hello. I'll take the chest. And I'll take that. More crates. Gonna get that heat tree unlocked. Oh yeah. Does the never suppress work? I think that perk does work, actually. I think that is actually one of the perks that does work. There's definitely going to be more interesting builds coming out when all the perks work. That is for sure. Right. Come on. Time to finish the mission. To the finish line, please. Come on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I will quickly... Wow, kill this thing. How much damage are we doing per leap? Far too much. No! There we go. Yes, we can exit instead of the animation. Ha-ha! Beating the game. Jumping all over the place, confirmed, Lalandra. We are 3 missions away from making a plasma rifle build that I'm going to play for 1 round, tell you it's bad, and then go to bed and sulk. That's the plan for today's stream anyway, to work towards a plasma rifle build that I already know I'm going to dislike. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll keep a hold of that for now. Accuracy, I mean, it's not got any buffs, but you could get some extra capacity on it, so it's good for the heals. We'll keep a hold of that one for now. 2 red mails. Helping the stream. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I do genuinely need them. Heat. Oh, okay. 3 more missions. Okay. Well, the thing is, Mojo, they've got to keep people happy. They've got to keep people happy. It's just it's a token response, you know. It doesn't actually mean that it's going to be adhered to. All it means is the community manager is taking that, copying and pasting it onto a forum, and then that when they have a weekly meeting, they'll discuss it. Or it will come up. But I imagine some of them will come up in a sense of, so guys, this guy wants to be a dreadnought. What do you think? And like, some of them will probably just shake their head and they'll move on. And that's the end of it. Also, that sounds like my life right now. Create amazing build, find out it doesn't work, cry. Cry myself to sleep. Yep, that's the life of an Inquisitor, basically. The life of an Inquisitor. Heresy everywhere. Okay. Ruined tank, makes sense. Boo, boo, boo. Totally non-repetitive gameplay coming in here. Totally unique map. Bit of sarcasm creeping through. Apologies. It's the lowest form of wit, so they say, but honestly, 10 map types would have made me happy. Not 3. There's more than 3. There are actually 10 in the game. It's just there's not 10 in the open world. I'm still salty about that. If I have a little pop at it every now and again, I'm sorry in advance, but it is one of my major bugbears at the most. There's some really beautiful maps in the actual campaign, and you never see them in the open world. Like the lovely defend mission last time with the old Imperial Guard and stuff. That's cool. Like, why can't we have some defend missions, you know? Just make me defend 3 waves, make it last 5 minutes. I know you won't be able to speedrun it, but that's fine. That would be an improvement. 100k for 1 tree is expensive, Demonettes, oh my word. Godlike, you've got to be careful what you do with those demonettes, you might catch something. Have they made respecking so damn expensive? Well, I don't know. I would say the reason they did it was to make your builds feel more valuable. Now, has that worked? Has it made people happy? Bah. Really nice visual missions in the campaign. Yes, there are. There's some really cool looking stuff there. And it's just not here. Like, you'll have noticed by now, I have played the same 3 maps. Okay, 4. We've had the snow map, and yeah, there's slightly different orientations of the tiles. I get that. Aha! New map! And the snow map. Like 4 snow maps. Okay, maybe it's a snow planet, so all of them should be snow maps. Maybe I can live with that. But why is there not like any stations on there that have, you know, a station portion of the snow map, you know? I don't know. Underplay your wealth. Yes, if you screw up your build in the levelling process, you are absolutely boned. And that, I think, is utterly despicable. I do not understand why you don't get a free mindset every now and again while levelling. I think that should have been a level reward every 5 levels. At least. Maybe even every level. I would even go so far as saying 20 during the levelling process is not too much to ask for. Obviously, some people wouldn't need it. Obviously. But if someone's new and learning this game, they will make mistakes. I mean, I watched a stream the other day of a popular YouTuber. I'm not going to name them. Who had no idea what they were doing. Not because they're bad, because Neocore just don't teach you a lot of stuff. And, you know, they were going to regret pretty much everything they did. And they're not going to be able to change it for quite a long time. And what? That is not a good place. That is not a good place. I'm not saying respecs need to be free. I personally don't subscribe to that. But I do think you should have some free respecs during the leveling process. It could have been Yemeth. It could have been. I remember Angry Joe actually playing this game back in 2015, or rather going through with Victor, the narrative designer, a little bit of pre-alpha gameplay, talking about it, talking about the concept, etc. And I think he was actually quite kind to this game, considering. Like, he described it as rough around the edges, but it had some cool qualities. And I think for who he is and what he plays, that's being pretty positive for this. Like, it rough around the edges is a very nice way of putting it. I think it's a cool game. I like it. I don't regret buying it. I love covering it. I'm going to make my channel about it for as long as the game's around, but I think you could have a bigger moan than that. Xeno races not too far away. Absolutely looking forward to those. Looking forward to the first season. I really am. Really am. Yeah, MLSV, I think that would be one solution. But maybe that would need to be more expensive then. I'm not sure. Will be the 2 trees. I mean, when Red Thirst works, Crit is going to be silly again. Absolutely silly. Although it doesn't work particularly well when it's really high difficulty, because it never gets the opportunity to stack. It's purely like a snowball mechanic. I've done this in the video because I was editing it earlier, and I remember this exact same map. Who likes surprises anyway? Consistency, reliability, heaviness. If it does not work, you can always hit him with it. And various other snatch comments. Will on-hit trigger with channeled attacks? I believe so, my friend. I believe so. You can still apply vulnerability and things like that. And you should still be able to get life on hits. Absolutely. This way first. Actually going to try and pay attention to go the right way. Okay, let's get through this nice and quick, because I think we've unlocked the heat tree. And then it's going to be a case of getting out the plasma cannon. It looks like a cannon to me anyway. Right, and we'll go this way, we'll go that way. Looking forward to the new camera type as well. Would also quite like to be able to hide. You can hide that, I forgot about it. Oh, but when you hide that, why doesn't that go down in the corner? That would be so cool. Just get it out of my face so I can see the screen. That would be really nice. I'd love to be able to hide this. Like, I don't need to see it now. Let me hide it. I can hide the map. I think that's cool. There's many ways to change the leveling respec. I don't know if they really want to change it too much right now. Oh, no. Okay, he's not spawning anything. I'm not sure what they want to do, but I think they know the general people's thoughts on it. Like, it makes it very hard for the scientists of us, the explorers. Sorry, that's the term I was looking for. Oh, there's two there. No, but I only needed one, so it's fine. It's fine. Yes, I doubt you guys all remember, but from our old Bartle taxonomy, you've got narrative explorers and you've got mechanical explorers. So narrative explorers have a fair bit to do in this game. You can read lots, you can look around. Mechanical explorers, meh. Not only is half of the stuff working, but you also can't respec very often, which is a real pain in the absolute butt. 249, you absolute oh my god. One more time into the fray. 3% healing on crits. It sounds alright, yeah. Not too bad, I guess. I mean, yeah, you could do an AoE and probably get a nice 9%. Well, Rogue, I use all of mine to do build videos, and I keep making builds that don't work, so... well, the thing is, godlike, is there's 3 seasons per year, that we know. So I wouldn't expect that to change, because they're going to have one major expansion every year, and 3 seasons in that cycle. So, I mean, yeah, there might be a few weeks, give or take, but when you look at actually what a season is, considering the next 2 factions right now are already made, and they've only got to make some models and animate them and stuff like that, it's... Maybe, yeah, the investigations will take a little bit of while, but what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's a big... I don't think that the season itself is as big an undertaking as stuff like making the Psyker and, you know, all of those things that have been more challenging. I mean, obviously I'm not trying to imply that this stuff's easy. I don't make games myself, but I don't see the seasons falling behind schedule. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the events are basically change some writing and change what you're killing and create some missions and map types to go with it. I don't see it as being something to worry about. Yes, well, there used to be cooperative missions. They didn't really work out that well, though. They were just ordinary big missions. What do we got here? Range, critical, rubbish. Okay. Ta-da! Right. Here we go, boys and girls. We've got the heat tree. Giggity, let's go. So what we're going to do is we're going to whop out our mighty plasma cannon. It's only a plasma gun, I know, but it's ridiculous. So that does a modest amount of damage. It's not AoE, it's single shot, fine. This is also single shot, quite a long cooldown, rapid fire, pretty cool. In theory, you can use that to get a movement speed bonus, which is ridiculous. It's also armor breaking and has knockback, so that's pretty cool. Only does 203 damage, but I think you do fire 3, so that should be 600 damage. I might be wrong. Then you've got Focus Bolt, which can be charged, which is kind of cool. And then you've got Compressive Plasma, slow area, compressed shot. Oh no, that's the charged one. That's just an armor piercing. So single, 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 and we've got an area effect. So 3 single targets. Do we want to spec into that? I don't know. Let's first just put some points in and stop talking for a second. So just to double check, because I like to make sure I'm not wasting all my points. We've only got 1 armor piercing, 1 armor breaking, and yeah, these 2 won't apply. So really, the single target tree would work for these. The armor penetration would only work for those 2. There's not really a really obvious solution to doing damage with this other than the critical hit tree, which will naturally apply to all of them. Yet again, I find myself sticking with the critical hit tree because it's simply the best. Maybe the range tree and the heat tree, and that's your build for this. And that's pretty much how you make builds. It's not particularly clever, it's not particularly interesting, it's just sort of, yep, I'll just go ahead and click some buttons here, I think I'll take that because the 5% critical chance, I've got plenty of critical anyway. And why do we have 1 point in there? That was such a dumb thing to do. Now we have to waste a mind reset to do that. Do we really want to burn? Yeah, go on, we'll burn stuff. Go on, stucking vulnerability, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do too. So we got that. Go over to the range tree, and we'll do that, and we'll do that, definitely. And we could use the 5% damage bonus to rapid fire, giving you a bit of extra move speed. It doesn't really seem worth it though, does it? And I think we'll go along here. Range skill cooldown when fighting from cover, very nice. Shortens cooling time of overheated weapons considerably. Okay, so although it's not perfect, that is pretty much a fairly reasonable adaptation. You could probably change this because dodging doesn't need to be cheap and critical hits reducing cooldowns probably not that important. But we'll keep it for now. Let's go and change this because that's just silly. Now, what I like the idea of, I quite like the idea of this. 5 time limited missions, great in the sector that I don't have the card unlocked for. But that I kind of like the idea of extra damage and lower the cooldowns. I like that. So you're basically just using a hard hitting abilities. I think that's really cool. What else can we do here? Obviously not that one. It's all about the critical hit. Any of these other ones any good? Doesn't appear so. Nope, okay. Well, let's see what else we can go with. Anything else that's going to make our character do a bit more damage with a plasma rifle? Nope. Nothing there, nothing there. I mean, I guess maybe you could go with teleporter and go with surprise spamming build. Doesn't really seem that good, though. That's probably the one to go for. We select that for now, just extra critical hit strength. It's not very impressive, though. It's got to be something better. What do you want me to rant about? Releasing the game with classes, not just one with skills, talents that literally do nothing, is not acceptable. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that, my friend. There's a lot that doesn't work. I think having the odd one that doesn't work is fine. I think having half of them not work, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but there's a lot that don't work. 50% damage to skills with 3 seconds or longer cooldown, plus 3 seconds to the skills. Let's have a little see how long our cooldowns are. Oh, that's gone up a lot. Oh, there we go. Long-ass cooldowns now. Yeah, I'll give that a go. I'll give that a go and spam some auto attacks in the middle. Why not? So let's see what sort of damage numbers we're looking at here. 300, 800. Yeah, not so good. Gonna need to charge that up, I think. Definitely. That's looking good, though. 793 damage. Goddamn diggity. And that's going to be doing more damage at range. Right. And now we find out how painfully slow the game is when you're playing a ranged character. Yeah, the problem is, Rogue, is even though there's so many skills not working, there's just been higher priorities, which is kind of obviously not a good place to be, but the skills are being... a lot of them are being fixed in the next patch. It's taken a while. I can sympathise because the game was pretty broken and they've obviously had to get the stuff working. Now, obviously, it shouldn't have been that broken when it launched. Hello? I'm spawning right next to you. Boop. Let's charge. Oh. Okay. Right, fine. I'm using an inoculator already. Okay, well, I guess I do damage. Okay, let's crack on. Already, we're off to a flying start. Let's charge up a shot. And see how much that does. Okay, well, that kills him in one hit. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So the nice thing is I can kill one of these in one hit. It does a fair bit of damage. That's all right. Yeah, it's okay. The problem is it's just got no AoE, and AoE is kind of like the pinnacle of this game right now. Oh, the one-hit KO demon that's chasing me. Oh, I'm truly the man. Look at my combat capabilities. Get wrecked, you nerds. Yeah, I mean, what a mess. Oh, ranged combat, what happened to you? There was a time when ranged combat was such a thing. Granted, I have intentionally gimped this to have some really long cooldowns. And I keep shooting at my, keep shooting at the Vembots. Oh my god. Boop. There we go. And charge. If the radius increased with that as well, I would have a little bit more affection for this build. Here's the thing, I don't even need that much damage. Like, there's no real value in speccing into extra damage because everything dies so fast. If I had a higher difficulty to play on, I'd maybe get an impression of if this damage was actually warranted. Like, I'm killing everything in one hit, so that's got to be good, right? Summon some more Vembots. Yes! Get wrecked in one hit. Okay. Yeah. But on the plus side, I do have a whole army of Vembots. I mean, someone needs to get a screenshot of that. That's what life is all about. You want a pet class? A ponytail pet class? This is what you want in life. They don't do any damage, but they do knock enemies back, which is hilarious. Right, off we go, girls. Let's roll. Yo, Shezu, how's it going? You were thinking about this build. Oh, well, my friend, I'll save you the trouble. Don't do it. I mean, it's kind of okay. It's kind of okay. I mean, I guess you could go with the one that decreases cooldown as well as this and try and mix that in. So it decreases the cooldown a little bit and then... the problem is I just think this weapon's poo. The problem is, though, it kind of needs to have some anti-armor stuff to really see if this is working. Because I'm not taking advantage of any broken mechanics to do this. This is just the build. But if I'm on a really hard mission and I can one-shot an enemy and no one else can, then it's kind of okay. I don't really think... Sadly, yeah, 2 is my AoE, but it's on like a 10-second cooldown. I think... The problem is, yeah, the problem is it's just on a massive cooldown, and I'm trying to sort of learn the buttons as I go. I've not used this weapon in absolutely forever. I can definitely make some changes to streamline this a little bit. Oh, hot damn diggity. That's his bad place to be. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, we've got in a little bit deep here, but we're alive. Not through skill at all, just by... Oh, no, there you go. Now I'm dead. Should really be paying attention. I know I'm playing completely scrap bag potato at the moment. I mean, really, this build to me says, please hide in cover and just shoot people from range and do that. Basically not doing what I'm doing now. That would work better. What is the range of that like? Oh, maybe it was you that killed me. Boop. There we go. Ouch. Where is the thing? Where is the thing? Oh, there you are. Goddamn scummy tower. Ouch. We'll change the build a little bit. Okay. Yep, Rogue Arcade, that is true. If you make a melee crusader with the physical tree and the combat tree right now, you are missing a crap ton of damage. Crap ton. Because you've got the critical tree, the combat tree, and the physical tree keystones, none of them working. Although I think they might have fixed one of them now. Okay, we actually need critical hit here. There you go. Once you get up to 100% critical hit, you're laughing, basically. I think the problem with this is it just needs... No, this weapon is just not my cup of tea at all. I mean, there will be good ways of using it, but if there is one, I don't really know. I mean, the criticals get some life back. I just feel like this weapon is just a bit pants. And I think AoE, or the ability to clear lots of stuff quickly, is really just so important in this game right now. AoE just... I tell you what, does anyone actually feel that AoE as a whole could be done, you know, we should probably nerf the AoE abilities over single target? Does anyone else actually agree with that? I mean, certainly the Psyker's AoEs are ridiculous. They definitely need a bop by the nerf bat. But I just think AoE and crit are 100% meta. Anything else is just so inferior, it's quite laughable. Boop, 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 boop. Such tactics, much wow. Come on, spam that AoE. There we go. Killed the trap. I do like the game. I do like the game, honest, even though I moan. Yeah, that's why AoE is so strong, because the AoEs do so much damage. In many cases, they do more damage than the single target. And I think if I wanted to give any build advice right now to someone just starting the game that wants to make a build, I would just say pick a weapon that has lots of AoE, because if you don't, you will just fall miles behind. That is definitely where the meta is right now. And the reason AoE is... sorry, one of the reasons crit is so good is because AoE applies the crit. Heck, here's a little idea, just spitballing off the top of my head. Why not decrease the critical hit chance of AoEs, or decrease the damage of critical hit chance, critical hit damage on AoE? Does that make sense? So have a single target AoE scale differently to an... No, let me start that again. Have a single target crit scale more than an AoE crit. I think that would be fine. I think that would help matters, at least. It's just too much of a problem now. Yeah, but that's an easy fix, Rogue. You change a number on a spreadsheet and you fix that problem. So I think we're still equipped to talk about the other stuff. I don't think you can... I don't think we need to wait until they've changed that to... I get what you're saying, that there's no point in worrying about this while that happens, but I think it's worth discussing the mechanics, because, you know, we don't need to discuss why the game's too easy. The game is too easy because the power level caps far too soon. And the problem with that is because the enemies are all a standard template and they don't scale as you level up. They get progressively easier as you get more and more damage, and the problem is you get more damage and they don't as you level up. And by the time you've got a full set of gear, you've got a ridiculous amount of damage and they've got bugger all. And that's why you get left with this situation where... Oh, hello. I'm actually having to challenge myself a little bit here, though. Boop, boop, boop. Well, this is kind of cool. Having to kite a little bit. Use some mad strats. Come on. I'm not doing a lot of damage to him, am I? Oh, rip me. Rip me in my badness. AoE is way too powerful. Why don't... I mean, how do you guys think it would go down if I tried to wrap up the Inquisitor Martyr meta in a video? What is the meta? Obviously, using broken abilities is a bit of the meta, and I don't want to get stuck in that, but I think it's very easy to discuss the reasons why crit is overpowered, why AoE is everything, and it's really, and why mobility is also pretty goddamn useful, because once you get to the point you can kill everything in one hit, then it's a case of how often can you kill stuff in one hit. Me aching toe bones, oh god. Dear sweet Jiminy Cricket. Leave me be. Right. I need some more duodenums. Need some more inoculators and other such things. The problem here is I can't kill stuff quick enough. I'm actually quite happy to kill myself and get out of that, because I'm going to use an autogun. Honestly, this potato peeler can go and suck on a lemon. I'm about as fond of that weapon as I am of lemon sucking. James, I would say the critical tree is a good place to start. Although, I will be fair to the melee tree, I actually think in the early game the melee tree has some good stuff. It's just that the critical tree as a whole is more powerful. As a new player, and if you watch the pogo stick build, I will sort of do a bit of more of a thorough explanation, but the close combat has plus 50 hit points on a melee kill with the assassin, which I think is really good to pick up soon, because you can go what bish bash bosh 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 and you're there, and you will get da 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 an extra 4.5% damage, as well as 7 damage against one-on-one and 7 damage in a group. So it's just, that is for me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 best 6 points you can spend early on, because the 50 hit points on kill I think is very, very good. I also think in the early game when you're trying to kill a lot of stuff and it's a bit rough, getting this after you've got the critical hit tree is very useful. But yeah, I would probably start with this and then I'd go straight into critical. AoE tree, unfortunately, is not necessary to make AoEs better. You can use anything else to make AoEs better. So like my pogo build is OP because I have 100% critical hit chance. Let's change this build now, because this is just goddamn awful. Right, what do we have? Do we have a good relic autogun here anywhere? Relic autogun. Does anyone have a relic autogun they could post me, maybe? Maybe that would be really kind. We might have a sniper actually we can use. We can use a long lass. Pew, 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 pew. Where's the long lass gone? Yes, there we go. While having the surprise bonus. Right, that's getting re-rolled. Modify. Let's modify you and change that. There we go. I was going to say it's not working. Do I really want to poison an enemy? Not really. Critical hit inflicts shock. Also crap. Also rubbish. Hits restore. Also a bit rubbish. Also rubbish. Also rubbish. Now I'm getting the same ones again and again. And if you guys haven't noticed this is what happens. You will get the same crap again and again. Single shot, I think we're actually going to go into full auto. That's what I'm after. Nope, not that one. Yeah, there we go. Damage for full auto. And now maybe we can get cooldown reduction for full auto. That would be wicked. Nope. Yes, there we go. We got a rapid fire. Cooldown 0.2 seconds. That's amazing. Okay, here we go. We're going with a machine gun hotshot las rifle build. Let's go. We're going to keep this in place. We're going to keep the critical. We're going to keep the range combat. I think we're just going to keep everything where it is for now, so I don't have to respec. Maybe we'll reset that tree, because that wasn't doing anything for me at all. And maybe put it into aim shot. So we'll go. Yeah, they're sniper skills. So another 5% critical hit chance, because why not just guarantee everything's a critical hit? All aimed and sniper shots cause a slow. Yeah, no. Maybe you could kind of combine that with this. Man, I don't know. Channeled critical hit chance by 3%. 1 second charge. No. No. Where should we put that? I think we should probably actually stick to single target DPS and go for that and that. Although we got 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 5%. 5 and 6. There you go. 10 health on a single target kill only. Right. This should be fun, to be fair. Daka. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to using the Daka rifle soon. Critical deed is bugged. 5 hours of gameplay. You've only done 20k damage to get 1 million. Give it time, my friend. It'll come along quick. Assassination. Let's just rock with this. If you don't have the critical tree, just go with the melee tree if you're melee or the ranged tree if you're ranged. That's my honest suggestion. Because there's plenty in there that are good. Plenty in there that are good. You know, it's not going to make leveling impossible if you go with those options. Actually died in a mission being level 5. You've got the tank on the mission, but a bunch of 4 Space Marines got you. Fair enough. Fair enough. That will happen. That will happen. Ooh, don't have far to go. Right. Let's see how much Dakka we have. Dakka, 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 Dakka. Oh my word, that's glorious. And it's absolutely pants. That's rubbish. Ah, but I could use an ability that's actually good for killing large targets. Haha! Ah! Be gone, beasts! Dakka, 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 Dakka. Oh, no! No! Oh, life is such a cruel mistress. My Dakka build just got wrecked. And there you go. The problem with this, in a nutshell, look at that. Look at that damage for a starter. And yeah, there you go. Because I don't have AoE, I just got shat on. And I even would go so far as saying that this mission is not going to be impossible. I mean, if I didn't play like a potato, this would be a lot easier. But the reason this is so hard is because I don't have AoE. And that's the balance situation of this game. Get AoE or be bad. Like now I'm shooting them mano a mano. It's not so bad, but Dakka, Dakka, Dakka. It's not a good place for a game to be, though, is it? Dakka, 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 Dakka. I mean, I could use the cover system. I quite like the pew pew of it, though. Equip Rosarius or die meta. Yeah, I mean, it does help. It does help. I'm not going to lie. I'm having quite a bit of fun. Oh, I was having quite a bit of fun until someone threw a grenade at me. Right, let's see what we can do. 4, 6. Oh, and I didn't critical hits with it. Rip. Okay, see how much... The problem is it's not got penetration on it. There we go. What's so much better than this? I mean, if I had... I've got vulnerability on crit, actually, so that should be making my life a bit easier. Be gone, beast. Where's my critical hit chance? Because it's being a bit rubbish. Ah, we could use the inoculator. That would have helped. There we go. Now we're cooking with some damage. Ah! Ah! That way! I'm clicking over there. Ah, of course. Can't run over the tiny little bits. Of course. Oh, no! No! Oh, wow, that was close. I saw it coming, but I was too slow. Too slow to react. I mean, is this enjoyable? I don't know. Does this look more enjoyable than the pogo stick? What do you guys think? Problem is in the bolt gun. I think the bolt gun's fine. Yeah, I love the heavy bolter. I love the heavy bolter. I think the heavy bolter is amazing fun. Maybe not the best weapon in the world, but I think it's... We'll play a bit of heavy bolter after this. Because that is one that... Oh, feck it, I'm bored. We'll play it now. Okay. Problem is in the bolt gun. The heavy bolter I love, and the bolt gun I love too. I think both of them are completely viable and fine. You're a bit slow with a heavy bolter, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But it really sucks that unless you have AoE, you are just in a bad place in this game, and I really hope they change that. Because fights like that, I honestly think... Ah, give it back! Give it back, you thief! Takes is the precious. Right, and pop that down there, pop that down there, pop that over there, and we'll swap some stuff over for the Crusader. Is that heat or physical? Heat and heat. So we need the physical ones. There's one of them. Where's the other good one? Set 2? Nope. Where'd it go? Ah, well. Maybe I re-rolled it by accident. Where'd it go? Maybe I left it on the psyker. Right. Quick log on to the psyker. You're really pissed by the hits. Game don't count, or you don't know where damage goes. I'm not sure I follow you, my friend. Battle Psyker. Yeah, a lot of people have fun with the grav gun. A lot of people having fun with that at the moment. Right, so... As you can see, I kind of stripped him naked to establish some of these builds. Aha. Bop and bop. And we'll leave that there. Where? So that's 119 and that's 112. That'll do. So we'll go over to the Crusader. Melee Crusader. He looks badass, I'll give him that. Increase stash space. To be fair, I don't think you're going to need to buy it. I think if that's what you want, then I think you only need to just have a good moan at it, and they'll probably implement it, because, yeah, I would agree with you that it sort of needs to be done. A las gun, another... Well, maybe a bit better than the hot shot. Maybe a bit better. Oh, we got some stuff there too. Right, so let's move that down there, move that over there, that over there. And bish bash bosh 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 bosh. Bish bash bosh 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 bosh. 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 And bosh. Right. Where'd the inoculator go? I swear I moved that over. What? Did I not unequip it from the assassin? If it's just been eaten and taken into the ether, I will be very upset. Right, that's going over there. That's going into the junk pile. Refractor field we definitely don't need. Right, so what do we got here? Physical, physical, good. Physical, good. We got those. They're the right ones. I'm missing a bunch of items. Right, back to the assassin. My apologies, guys. Back to the assassin to transfer all the items over. We will crack on with this. How do I get the cool skull helmet? The pre-launch event. I'm presuming if you're going to be on console, then you will have access to this. Right, where is... Okay. This is a little bit disconcerting. Ah. There's the thing. There's the other things. Right, and there we go. And I'll put that in as well. Oh, what a mess this is. No, I don't need that. I'm just seeing... I'll just shove all of these in. For now. And we can do a quick little min-maxing session. I think. And then we'll go from there. That looks good. That looks good. Yep, okay. Boop. Boop. You're missing cool stuff. Well, it's fine, my friend. There'll be loads of stuff added to this over time. Just give it a while. Does anyone have a relic heavy bolter by any chance going spare? I'm not sure as I have one. I've got one of those. Oh, no, I've got one. Never mind. 15% explode on kill, dealing area damage for 50% of the... Wow. Wow, how about them apples? I'll take that. I'll take that any day. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Much appreciated. Thank you for the follow. A productive stream today. Right, and the inoculator we need, and we'll go with that. Definitely, we'll go with that, and probably that one. Let's get that stuff sorted first. That. Definitely that, and most probably that. So now we're looking a little bit more totally awesome. Let's just pop that there and pop that there. Looking pretty cool. So a little bit of min-maxing needed, and definitely not a refractor field. We need to sort that out right now. We need to put an end to the refractor field. Heat damage, vulnerability effects. Okay, we've got some re-rolls to do. Heat weapons are not my bag right now, so that's got to change. Modify. And pop you over there. Physical, come on, physical damage. Warp damage? No. Bleeding? No. 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 It's going to keep rolling the same ones. I'll go for suppression per hit. Let's try re-rolling this one. Ah, there we go. Perfectamonto. And let's just have a little see what our options are with this. Ah. Right. Okay. Right. Did anyone else just see that? Did anyone else just see my relic disappear? My relic effect just disappear. Neocore, me and you need to have a word right now, because that was so not cool. Jesus fucking Christ, Neocore. Fucking hell. Right, let's crack on. Spin up salvo is what we're after. Range damage, slow and shock. Well, it's one of those days. I've never had that happen before. Why do this? Why you do this? A Hellstorm cooldown? I'll go for Hellstorm cooldown. I like the idea of that. Okay, so that's a thing. That's a thing indeed. And do I have any cooldown mind resets? Survival skills, how many do I have? 4, that'll do. Area effect, definitely not. We've already got critical, so we're on our way. We've got critical hits reducing the skill cooldown by 10%. I mean, arguably that increases our rate of fire by 10%, I guess, for cooldowns longer than 1 second only. So actually that's a load of poo. It kind of works on the digital weapons, but they last for so long anyway. I'm going to get those points back. Now, what else are we going to use? Because we've got physical attacks up here. But the problem is the ramping damage stuff just doesn't really work. What we'll do is we'll go for the critical hit up here. And we'll go for, I mean, all of these are going to be channeled. So I think that's actually not a bad idea. 5% move speed when using heavy weapons isn't too bad. Slowed, shocked, stunned or frozen's not going to happen very often. Oh my word, what do we do? Salvo, salvo, salvo. How many of them are classed as salvo? Let's have a look. Single target, salvo. I think ranged and single target DPS is probably the way to go. So we'll go for a little bit of that. We've got the critical hit over here. We'll go for the ranged combat. Oh, and we'll also pick up that and that. Extra range damage, really. It just makes it useful. Kills with a single target attack, reducing the cooldown by 30%, in theory makes you shoot a lot faster. So that could maybe be a thing. And you can even increase it to 50% bonus damage with single target skills, which is pretty cool. Let's go back to the range tree, though, because I think that will be good. That will not. And I think maybe, if we go that. Oh, sod it, let's get that as well. And then we're going to go for some weird stuff. I don't know, what are we going to go for? Maybe some focus regen, but we're going to be critting so often I don't think we need to. That definitely. Shouldn't have forgotten about that one in the first place. And then we got 2 points left. That one doesn't work at the moment, so let's just ignore that one. That's not a thing right now. We can get that. It's okay. Get that. It's all right. Slow, shock, stun, or frozen. Oh, go on. We'll do this, and then if we do slow or shock or stun or do anything, we'll do some extra damage. Yeah. It has no cooldowns, but in theory, it increases your rate of fire, I believe, if you get a kill. I might be wrong. Oh, look at all of these things we've unlocked. Right, let's just see what else we can get here. Move speed. I think that's probably the one we want to chase. Yeah, that's the one we'll chase. So we've got crit hit chance, 100% necessary for this. Damage, no, that needs to change. Absolutely. I'm half tempted to go for the magazine capacity. But instead, let's see what else we can go for. Damage per second while standing still. I mean, that in theory could work for this. You've got to stand still for quite a long time, but now where is the old suppression immunity? Movement speed while suppression? Nope. Debuffs? Nope. That might be okay, but I don't think we're going to be killing stuff fast enough. And that might be alright. Dot duration's poo, that's all rubbish. That's not going to be that useful. That could be okay. That one we've already got, which is awesome. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That's kind of okay if you want to stack debuffs on someone. A quick review of the availables here. Damage against those. I'm leaning towards this. Damage against targets within medium range. Executioner bonus might be okay. Suppression resistance will never decrease. Character does not regenerate. Can only be healed by inoculator or similar effects. I wonder if the single target heal still heals us. We'll give that a go. We'll give these a go. It's not the best combination in the world, but we'll give it a good bash. And let's just a quick cheeky look through armors, because I want to find the one that looks the most badass. Not that one. I don't want to be a salmon. Okay. So is it between these two? Yes, right. So green one has these stats: resistance, damage reduction, and health. Or we've got damage reduction, armor class, skill reduction, and they're both identical. So I think I'll just go with this. I like the idea of the assault pack though, actually. We'll go assault pack. After all of that, we're just going to stick. It just turns off regen. Well, that's fine by me. Right, time for a bit of, hopefully, a little bit of fun. Multi-melters are okay. Multi-melters are doable, Alex. They're very, very doable. We won't bother upgrading all of these relics at the moment. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Thank you very much. Oh, it's been a nice peaceful stream, I think. Not too stressful. It's been oh, the follow train coming in. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Shout out to anyone that's new, by the way. All the followers, all the patrons. Speaking of patrons, could we get the old doohickey in the chat? You know, the old spam thing that we do every now and again. Get people in the Discord. I like the Discord. It's a wonderful place. I'm going to try the 2 ability first. Daka. So much Daka. But this is one of those builds when I think when the difficulty gets up, and I'm actually just using 2 fingers at the moment to do this, will actually be quite useful, because when you get to the point where this is actually threatening, they never had a chance. They never had a chance. Like, I don't even give a crap. I'm just wrecking nubs at this point. Okay, granted, it's not, you know, it's not the quickest way of dealing with enemies when you can just run up to them. Right. It's a lot easier when enemies are coming to you, so from that sense against melees, much easier. Much easier to just sort of daka your way around. Right, and let's crack on. Now, we've got the digital weapons, we've got those, we've got the inoculator too, and let's try and see. Come on! Right in your face, sir. Daka. Come on! There we go, and we're cooking. So much Daka. It's ridiculous. Tactical and strategic combat, Kappa. Quite good fun combat, though. I mean, satisfying in terms of blasting heretics to pieces, anyway. Can I up you later so you can post the Discord? I'll up you now, Lalandra, if you bear with me a second. I've just got to kill some heretics first. Let's get a little closer. That's better. Thank you for the follow. Daka. Not losing suppression's actually quite nice. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, retreat. Now time for the AoE. Again, so much quicker than the other weapons for the pure reason that it's got AoE. And this is where we're going to come back to this point in a moment. Oh! What did that do? Oh, we got a new sponsor. Yay! Is that you, Chatman? Chatman, the sponsor. What's up, my man? What's up? Oh, we need to get your emote in here. I don't think we do yet. I don't think we've got your emote in here yet. My mistake. Right. Landra is now a moderator. Congratulations on becoming a mod. You are truly awesome. Thank you very much, Chatman. Chatman, one of the long-serving patrons of the channel, has single-handedly funded many expeditions, as well as my adventure into Grimdawn, which I very much enjoyed with him. We should do that another time. Maybe we could do a joint stream with Jins, because he was also experimenting with that game. Right. Daka, 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 daka. Is it going to explode and kill me? No, it doesn't seem like it. It's only downside of this strategy is it is just sort of standing still and shooting stuff, you know? And in situations like this, when I forgot that one over there, it's a bit embarrassing. I'm not sure, Andrew. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's have a see. The trouble is the sound effects are quite inconsistent, so sometimes I'm not sure if it's just the sound effects coming across. So if we shoot over here... Yeah, they're inconsistent anyway, which really doesn't help matters, does it? Look at that suppression damage going down. I am so glad I'm doing extra damage to shocked enemies right now. Yes it is. Yes it is. You stack the fortune buff, you do that, you use the hourglass, and then you are cooking. And you make sure you try and do... Oh! No! Back beasts. And then you do something like a hunt that will probably have more sorcerers. And there you will get probably a good 6 or so, give or take. Maybe 5. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Daka, 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 daka. Daka, daka. Daka, daka. And that'll... Oh, a teleporter. Praise the Emperor for placing these... Oh. There we go. Yep, hunt targets have a higher drop rate. That is true. So do turrets for some reason. So that's always cool. I don't think they're going to be dropping stuff for much longer, though. But yep, Skip has nailed it with that. Hunt missions and the hourglass are the way forward. Obviously, you can go for targeted loot if you want specifics. But with the game the way it is, just gather stuff, and then if you need to swap and trade with a friend, you can do so. And this ability is really not worth using, is it? Not against those, anyway. Right, let's get some life back. Ah, that's right, our life does not regen. Excellent. However, I'll tell you what does regen. Oh, let's just try and kill them. Come on. Oh, that's actually not too good. Come on, fire and retreat. Fire and retreat. Oh, this is good. This is good. Are we going to live through this? Probably, actually. Oh, it's so glorious once it's ramped up. Ah, it's so glorious. Right, okay. I'm happy. Right. The loot buff, yeah, I think the loot buff is too good. Why they put 100% XP buff and 100% loot buff is a bit beyond me. It's just such a big number. Like 10% loot is a fairly big number for some games. 40%? Maybe if you're in a full party or something, like Diablo did that. Although single players were able to get loot via another means. Yeah, I don't know. Right, now, kind of meta strategy here. Just run ahead. Oh, and we're going to need to kill stuff to get our life back up. But fortunately... Oh dear. I was going to say, fortunately, we can kill stuff faster than it can kill us. And we can regen life, therefore, pretty damn fast. So in terms of satisfaction, I mean, it's certainly more effective than a lot of the other range builds, that's for sure. It's certainly better than the plasma rifle. And again, it's because it can deal with the AoE. And it's not really AoE damage, but it's rapid fire enough to really matter. If you get a little bit of cooldown on your spin-up salvo, I think you're cooking. Lovely damage on the right-click too. Quite a bit higher, so if you're only needing a couple of hits to kill something, then very satisfying. But if there's a really big room, then obviously the left click is just awesome. And I think the AoE on this is really underrated. The problem, I think, with this weapon is a lot of people will see some enemies over there and just decide to do this and then complain that they're not getting kills. And, like, just don't use that ability. Just use the right click. And there you go, they're all dead. You know, it's just use the right ability for the right range, you know? So over there, like, they're quite far away. I'm hitting him, I'm just not doing that much damage. Like, I've got a 100% hit here. Absolutely fine. Just use the right one for the right range. Or you could even use the 2 ability over here. Because it's an AoE, it's going to work. There you go. Easy peasy. And if you really want to use a left click, just don't moan that it doesn't hit stuff. It's not designed to. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. That is basically the compromise of the weapon. Like, I can use the left click in this sort of situation because, well, you know, there's enough stuff to kill. And the range is fine, but by the time I've killed the stuff close to me, I've ramped up enough damage to kill the stuff far away from me, so it all works out okay, but just use the right stuff. No, godlike, but it doesn't do it with as much Dakka, and that is really important. Dakka is very, very important within this game. For too long, we have had weapons without Dakka, and I'm just happy to have some again. Oh, that's nice. Class resource regeneration. Lovely jubbly. Been waiting a long time to unlock that. I don't really think it's very good, but it could probably be used for an assault pack spamming build. Like, what's the cooldown on the 5 seconds? Can we make a pogo sader? I actually think we can, you know. I actually think we can with 5 seconds. What we'll need is we're going to do it, guys. We're going to make a pogo sader real quick. Last build of the day. How many resets do I have? 2. That's fine. We just need to reset that. And we'll need to go that. An area, that. I know it's broken and far too good, but just, you know, sue me. Close combat. That's a shame, because I would have liked that. All melee kills granting movement is quite nice. We'll just put those 2 points there for now. Oh. Because I would have liked that as well. Never mind. What we need is hit point regeneration now, and some other bits and bobs. So we'll change that to our new one. Okay, 1/10 of the HP regen is class resource regen. Movement speed, -6. Well, that will change when we change weapon. And then we're going to change this. I like the suppression doodah hickey, that's cool. But we need health regeneration. Anything else we can get here for health regen? Well, how much health regen are we on at the moment? 0. Not a great start. Not a great start to our build. There's some in here we can get. There's one there when your health drops down low. Where's the other health regen stuff? Oh, there's not actually a lot here, is there? Maybe we can roll some quickly. Oh my days. Okay, this we can reset. We don't need that. So we can get a bit of health regen there. And we can get the health regen there, I guess. While the inoculator is on cooldown. Yeah, that kind of works. It's a lot of points to spend for, well, how much regen? 20? It's not a lot, is it? It's not a lot. Is there any other health regen we could be going for right now? Yeah, I know, Godlike, that's the whole point. I'm trying to get some health regen so I get the focus regen. That's the whole point. I want some health regen so I can get some... Ah, but you're saying it shows a 0 because of that. That is truly something I did not appreciate. But then it's still showing us that there, 0. The actual frick. Okay, so focus regen per second, 0.5 up to 4. Okay, so 4 per second. Let's do some maths. And we're going to need 10 per use. Well, that's fine. That's fine, and we get some per critical hit as well. Oh, that's totally fine. Right, that's cool. Let's rock with that. I think I might, if we just go over to the modify tree here, I might even see if I can just sort of swap one of these a little bit. Oh, physical resist, I like that. Damage reduction. Can I get some health regen? Health regen, please. Move speed, I'll take that. Health regen. Health regen. It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. Nope. Dare I... Oh, resource cost for armor skills. Lovely jubbly. That'll do. Oh, I don't even want to do anything else now, because that is... If I do anything else, it's going to break stuff, isn't it? It's actually going to break it. Digital weapons. I'm going to re-roll that. I just want a little bit more life. Ow, sod it. Sod it. We're just going to pogo our way through. And let's go for something that has some AoE damage. Two-handed axe would probably work well. Oh, that'll do. Lol. Okay. Pogo time! Is this a good game? That's a good question, my friend. That is a good question. That's a difficult question. And we've got 8 skill points still, so we're going to stick them in the close combat tree. There. Successful deflects. I'm not going to go with that one. That I'm going to go for. And I might go for the combo. That. There you go. That's just going to make killing tough stuff more interesting. Yeah. That's exactly self-flagellation. Augmented body. Oh yes, augmented body needs changing, doesn't it? Augmented body needs to be changing. What are we going for? Thank you for the reminder, by the way. Damage and mobility skills gain. Lower cooldown. Nah, no thank you. Let's see what else we could get instead. We could go for something tanky. Crit hit chance we've got. I mean, how much deflect do we have? 25%? Could be more. 25% more damage isn't terrible. Instant resurrection. Nope. Dot damage. Nope. Come on, there's got to be something. I mean, we could go for Keen Fury. Let's go for it. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but it'll do. Right, let's roll, boys. Midcraft, I think that's a really good analysis of this game. It's like a Peugeot 106. It's a bit rough around the edges, it's a bumpy ride, but there's something about it that people like and keep playing and keep driving and talking about, and you know, it's one of those games that some people even love to hate. Some people do just hate, but some people love it, even with its quirks, and some people maybe love it because of its quirks. 306. I need to actually Google what a 306 looks like now. Oh my word, yeah. The 306 is definitely... Yep. I think we've all had at some point in our life a friend with a Peugeot 106. At least I had that. 106 was a shitbox. I'm actually going to... I'm going to allow that message through because I don't disagree with it. Right, let's try pogo sticking. Wow, that AoE damage though. Kappa. Right, okay, let's try that again, this time with a bit more feels. Ta-da! Oh, the cooldown needs a little bit of work, doesn't it? Okay, well, we can just do that in the middle to sort of get it off of cooldown. I sound like a jet engine. That's pretty cool. Oh, so slow. The speed buff is real. Wow. And then you can use that to decrease the cooldown, I guess. Oh, does that not kill him in one hit? Well, rip. Problem is the AoE from this needs its area increased. So I might even have to go into the tree a little bit further just to try and actually fix that problem. Okay, let's roll with this. And we got stunned out of that. Excellent. That is just the best thing in the world when you're about to use an assault pack and you get stunned out of it. I mean, is it as good? No. Is it kind of doable? Maybe. It's... Stop it. Like a G6. I'm actually going to call this the G6 build. Oh, come on. Oh, wrong ability. Could I not kill him first? What a potato. What a potato. Right. Bouncing towards freedom. We need a bit of cooldown reduction on the armor ability, don't we? Need a little bit of cooldown reduction here. Because it's not bad. Okay, we're going to need the AoE tree. Let's just jump out, improve the AoE tree, and then we'll come back. Because as much as I'm enjoying that, I don't want to be there all day. We need some cooldown reduction. We need that cooldown reduction, so let's see what we can do to get it. Do we have any more resets? No. Excellent. That I'm really happy about, because that just highlights how much I dislike this freaking system. Survival? No, it looks like the other one, which is just as annoying. The Fwoosh build. Andrew, I think that's a pretty good name. The Fwoosh build. It's not got quite the same ring to it. The crusader, I think, is probably the name I'll end up going with. Chatman can help me out with some... oh, I had mine resets in the thing, didn't I? Oh, you're so kind. You're so kind and lovely. I love you all. Now I've taken them, I need to put them back in the bank because I've now put them on the wrong character. Okay, I'm just going to move those over. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Much, much appreciated. Right, now for the thing. Hopefully we only need one. So I think my plan is to go a bit more into the movement tree and get this, which will help a bit. And then maybe that a little bit. That will probably help. And that probably too. So what we need to respec is some of the... I mean, maybe we could go with that, but I think that's overkill. I am a bit concerned that the area for all area of effect skills is still so crap. And it's not an aura. Yeah, it is just a small area, which is kind of crappy, but we'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. I think I can get rid of this. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that. So then we regen more when we're low on health, which is completely stupid. We don't need that at all. We're regenning a ridiculous amount as it is. We're going to go this. So now we're moving and gliding all over the place. We could do with more deflect, I guess, if we're really going for this. Deflect bonus from shield would be cool. Damage reduction in cover. None of that rubbish. And that's probably a good one, but we're already regenning so much. Well, there you go. Why didn't I think of that before? Lovely jubbly. Extra heals confirmed. I don't know how much Keen Fury was working for me here. Let's just see what else we can go for. 100% HP regen. Just out of curiosity. 7.5 focus regen per second. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Damage bonus equal to your deflect. 25%. It's not that good, is it? What else can we go for? Movement speed? Maybe. Belt? Oh, I don't know. I think the one we had was probably the one to go for. I need to unlock some of these, to be fair, like the armor use giving 10% damage reduction and 30% damage bonus is definitely what I want to go for, but 25 missions without activating armor, is that going to happen? Not with this build. Not with this build. Ah, wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. Right, job done. And anything else that could be useful here? No. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And that should work a bit better, I guess. Let's try it. Yeah, cooldown on deflect I've just grabbed. Cooldown on deflect I have just grabbed. That should be enough to turn this into a monstrosity of a build. How do you join a cabal? The best thing is to apply to one, my friends. All you do is you click down here in the cabal window, you go to a browser, look up the cabal you want to join, of which there are a lot of cabals, and you can click on one and click apply. That is the way to do it. 150 out of 300. Oh boy! And then we finally get to work on upgrading our stuff. Badurkadur. More regular missions generated on the star map. That would be nice. And extra credits. That would be very nice too. Right. Tough mission. Let's go. Yeah, I think there is a limit on how much you can do per mission in terms of those sort of stats and figures. I could only get 2 explosive barrels per mission, so I think they have put a cap on it. Maybe to just drown out how long it takes. Cooldown is in support tree for focus. I'll have a look on that. I wasn't aware of cooldown within the support tree. But we're on 3.4 seconds now, so yeah, I think that's forgivable. Because you can just do that, you could do a bit of that, you know, you could do a little bit of that. It's not quite pogo. Oh, sorry, walking off the edge of the map while reading chat and getting the buttons wrong. But you know, it's a pogo thing. It's not quite as good, but I move fairly fast. That's pretty cool. I could definitely improve the cooldown a little bit more. And I could do some fairly nice damage. Oh lol. Oh lol indeed. I mean this is not one of those builds that's going to kill the whole map in exceptionally fast. But it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Do you guys think it's worth sticking this one in the build video? What do you guys think? Is this worth sharing with the world? I'm not sure right now. Maybe. I mean, you could swap out any weapon for this, to be fair. Yeah, Thunderhammer could be a little bit more pogo, that's for sure. Be more pogo than this, at least. But you get to do a lot of jumps. That's pretty cool. Tweak it a bit more, then. I mean, I think it's really just picking a weapon you like using. Oh, and learning where to click to land on an enemy, because actually clicking on them doesn't land you where you want to go. Which is something that they changed in a patch. And I wish they would move back. Because it used to be that you actually landed where you clicked. I'm not sure what else I would want to make this more of a thing. Because it's sort of just jump on stuff, do a spin, jump on stuff, do a spin, jump on more stuff, do more spins, more jumps. It's just the AoE being a bit too small, I think, hurts it a bit. Yeah, I think build saves would be good. I did request a Warzone feature quite some time ago. I mean, this strikes me as a build that's just not like the Assassin in terms of its kill capability. Like look at that. It's just... You've got to land in the middle of a really tight group. And that's kind of a bit frustrating. You get a lot of health per kill, though. Come on. Oh, and you get interrupt a lot from all the suppression you take. There you go. I mean, it's kind of jump and spin. And then jump, jump, jump. Try not to get interrupted. And spin. Yeah. Something about it's not quite working, is it? Yep, the build calculator would be very much appreciated. Let's not lie there. Build calculator would be good. I've actually got some Cabal members working on it. Not that they're actually affiliated with me as such. They're doing it. Hit, steal, knockback, and slow to targets. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Not the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst. What weapon would suit this more? I mean, the power hammer maybe. Shockwave. Thunder hammer maybe. Let's have a see. Oh, I didn't want to sell you that. Give it back, you thief. Stupid fat hobbit. Because we can use the Thundering Leap, but it is a 6-second cooldown, so you're basically going to go Assault Pack, Thunder Leap, Assault Pack. That will work, and then you'll be waiting about 3 seconds for the Thundering Leap. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. I have a feeling the Great Axe might work better with the dash, but let's give it a go. Quick Draw Tactical Master Mega Blaster. That's a pretty cool name. That is a pretty cool name. I'll give you that one. Okay. Let's do the Scourge. Let's do the Scourge. Man, that burger was tasty earlier. Really enjoyed that. Really good burger. It was 12 ounces. That is quite a lot of meat for a person with a small frame. 1,000 calories were in that burger. That's without the burger sauce too. Damn Skippy. Right. Hang on. Load up the chat so I can see it again. There we go. Right. Okay. Eradicative protocols in the AoE tree. So we got that. Do that. And we could do that. Okay. Well, if we can reduce that anymore... I mean, it kind of works. The only problem is you're just taking too much damage. Let's have a little see. I mean, the lack of mobility is definitely hurting it a bit. Yeah, you could probably spec into a bunch of physical resist that would make this a lot easier. Almost definitely, that would help. I could also optimise my gear a little bit. It's not particularly min-maxed, although I think I have a fair bit of extra physical damage. Where are you? 41% physical damage, which isn't too shabby. Keen Fury you could probably change for something that would make you a little bit more tanky, so you could maybe go for something like Crisis Management if you are dying a bit too much. Right, so let's have a look. Tactical Mastery resets overheat and gives 50% weapon switch cooldown. Quick Draw gives 50% weapon switch cooldown, so you'd like doing your Mega Blast build. I like the idea of it. Right. Eradicative protocol within the AoE tree. Let's find it. Is it that one? Yeah. I just find this is too many points to invest for what you actually get. But I'm happy to give it a go. I just find it a little bit underwhelming damage-wise. Right. Chapman, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Still got a few left on the assassin now. Right, so let's go over to here, over to there. Bish, bash, bosh, 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 bosh. Bosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. It did the thing where it does the thing and doesn't let you do it. Bish, bash, bosh, 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 bosh. There we go. Right. And someone told me within the debuff tree there was a cooldown. Let's have a look. Where is this? Where is this said cooldown? Maximum suppression. I swear someone said within here. Maybe they said the support tree. Focus regen within there. There's that. Yeah, there's that. Inoculators, yep, no, none of that. Debuff? Nope. 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 I don't think there's any cooldown stuff here. Suppression resist? Nope, not that I'm aware of. Right now, my friend, I wouldn't focus too much on my skills because they are a bit... yeah, eradicative protocol does help. My skills are really just everything critical hit, everything AoE. Movement, everything on the right-hand side to get cerebral feedback and overreaction, and just support for the focus healing me. A little bit of extra deflect giving me suppression points, and a little bit of extra armor mitigation. That's my stuff right now, and I'm going to change to crisis management just for how much damage I was taking on the last mission. There's one on suppression and one in movement. Yes, the suppression one is very good for regen, however I do not have the suppression tree unlocked, thanks to a complete absence of side missions. See you later, Lalandra. Take care, girl. Hope you're doing good. Speak soon, hopefully. Take care. Bye-bye. Right, let's give this another bash. Yeah, you could probably go for a max deflect pogo build with cooldown and loads of deflect and damage on deflect. Yeah, I think you could probably do that. So you could go for like a two-handed shield and do some of those bits. So like if we go here, that's... yeah, I think that will work, because you could do that, and then you can do like a bit of this, and then you can do a bit of that, a bit of that, a bit more of this, a bit more of that. And this is a pogo. We're pogoing. I might go so far as saying I don't really need the critical hit, so I might be favoured, or I might be leaning towards even using a void shield. Simply because... yeah, I mean, that's kind of working. Oh, Krieg, that is really cool. Really cool, my friend. Totally awesome. Totally awesome, my friend. Oh, so much damage. Come on. Taking a lot of suppression damage, which I think is where the suppression or a suppression variant of this build might be more effective, and I won't have to spend so much in this godforsaken tree. Oh, come on. There we go. Well, it's working. It's not the best build in the world, but it is working. Nothing on the assassin pogo though. Like, this is dealing 500 damage, which is quite reasonable. It's a lot more than the assassin in terms of its splash. It just needs... I don't know what it needs. Maybe there's some other armor enchants that would sort of help it a little bit more. Oh, okay, the range on that's not as big as I thought it was. But it's doable. Like, it's not bad. It's just not as good. And yeah, that's fine. It's just, I don't feel like it's a strength right now of the dude. You know? Come on, up we go. Mainly because I think the assault pack jump is just off. Like, it doesn't go where you aim it most of the time, and it doesn't do a particularly big blast. But that's fine. Demolition with cooldown and focus regen. Yeah, that could definitely work. That could definitely work. Try to roll heal on crit with hammer. Go for the cooldown reduction. Well, I think I do have heal on crit at the moment. I should do anyway. Yeah, the extra supplies, that's definitely a thing as well. I've got that on the inoculator at the moment. That's something I already have. There's definitely ways I could sort of min-max this a little bit. I could definitely make or exchange this for the ability to not lose suppression and to just gain hit on crits. I feel like that would be okay. Wherever the hell it's gone, that would be a thing that I could do. I'm not sure, and I could have a hammer that heals me based on kills. That would make it a lot more effective. I'm leaning towards, although Imaginus, the thing is, there's a patch coming out in a few days, so there's no point doing that video at the moment. I know it would be convenient right now, but for the time it takes me to do, it will be irrelevant in a few days. So the best thing you're best off doing is just asking in the forum what skills are working and what ones aren't. It'll change too quickly for me to justify leaving something up on the internet for it, because the patch that fixes them is already currently going through the processing sort of phases. So just give it a bit, just give it a little bit. I'm thinking more deflect and more of that is probably going to be my way forwards. Crit hit chance extra is nice. I'm actually thinking maybe go for, I don't know, damage per deflect and then work on increasing my deflect. Maybe that's where I would go with this. I'm not 100% sure. Guys, I hate to call it early there. It's not really early. It's been nearly 3 hours. But guys, it's been fun. It's been magical. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for following. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Chatman, the sponsor of today, who has joined and become a sponsor, I guess. Lovely to have you on board, my friend. On board another thing, because you're already on board with everything else. Guys, it's been wonderful. It's been fun. And I'll see you on the weekend. And I say it like that because I'm really busy Saturday, and there probably won't be a stream on Saturday. There'll be a stream on Sunday, okay? No stream Saturday. I've got to go pick up my car. I've got to drive it to my parents. Then I've got to go drive it somewhere else. Then drive it back again. I'm going to be doing all sorts of stuff. Sunday, stream, confirmed. See you then.